presentation of the World Baseball Classic. On a San Diego night that resembled a shrouded evening from a Hitchcock movie, Team Japan took center stage, staving off elimination and securing their spot in the semifinals of this World Baseball Classic. They had a dominating win over international power Cuba. Tonight at stake for the defending champions, a fourth meeting with their arch rivals from South Korea. With a win comes more than just positioning in baseball. It's another W in an ongoing adrenaline-filled competition. To baseball fans in Asia, Korea-Japan always brings its own heightened significance. This is their Yankees-Red Sox, not just another game. The Pool 1 final and a tune-up for the trip to L.A. is next. The World Baseball Classic continues from San Diego, California, a part of which is Coronado Beach that you are looking at right there. If you ever want to take a great vacation in Southern Cal, go there. You will enjoy it. These fans have enjoyed, because their teams are going to be moving on, what's gone on here in San Diego. And boy, do they know a lot about one another. The fans have been as much involved when these two teams play as have the players on the field. They'll go at it again tonight. For the fourth time, Japan takes on Korea for the right to say they are number one coming out of San Diego and heading to L.A. With Jose Mota, I'm Gary Thorne. Welcome, everybody. For Japan, they had to do one more last night to make it to L.A., and they did against Cuba.
They found a very flat Cuban team that every time they see the words Japan across somebody's chest, it's like, here we go again. And for Japan, a team brimming with so much confidence right now, is that encounter, as Ichiro says, with that one girl, Korea.
Well, that one girl is Korea. We might as well get married, he said. Well, maybe they will after this. Here are the numbers so far.
Well, so far, you see the numbers very similar in terms of average, but the earned run for Japan, it's above. You take away the 14-2 ball game, and you know what? Korea perhaps could have just as good a pitching as Japan, and they have showed it all throughout this tournament. But in this tournament also, not just about the pitching, but about the batting from Tae-Kyun Kim. How good is he?
He is very good, and if they are going to win, he's going to have to continue to be good here in this game. This is a very big bat.
Just watching him in batting practice today, it's like a copy of the swings you see on video right now is what he does in BP, but even more control. I think many people took him for granted. They thought they could perhaps not let the big guy extend those arms, but when he extends those arms, there's a lot of arms waiting for him in that dugout.
There you see the numbers put up in the Classic, and they are some impressive. 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, hitting over 400, and against Japan, almost the same. In the 3 games, a .444 average. What has made Japan so impressive, not only the discipline we've seen, but a pitching staff which has kept their ERA in the Classic almost at 1.
Seems like everybody, Gary, is so composed and so controlled, and they show their stuff. Wasted no time on Sunday against Cuba with Matsuzaka. And then last night, all the moving parts of Iwakawa were just unbelievable. And the combination, right and left, finesse and power, all so ever present, with also Suichi striking out the Cubans and really fooling them all the way through the night. A long flight back to Havana, and for them is a very, very long adios. And there's no doubt they've been tough to hit. Even when you look at the opponent's average, they have not faced a lot of opportunities in which they've had to find that one pitch very often in any inning. So, by the way, they keep it so simple, it seems like we'd like to see them sweat sometime.
It is amazing to shut out Cuba twice. Anybody that can do that's got to have a great staff. Tonight we'll get to see a couple of veterans, both starters in their own respective leagues.
Oh, they call him Utsumi, the quiet exterminator. He will find a way with 2 strikes to finish you off. And for Won Sung Jang for Korea is bouncing back from a very tough relief outing he had earlier against Japan. And this team wants to get it done. They want to be number 1 going to L.A.
2 left-handers will go. You're not going to L.A. with us.
Well, for you, gracias. For my Korean friends, Tomochi Auswaka. And from our Japanese friends, sayonara.
It's been great fun. Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for the pleasure of working with you. But we've got one more to go. Hang in. Fans will rev it up, so will we. When we come back to San Diego, this is the final game of the second round for the right to say #1 heading into LA out of this pool. Japan and Korea first pitch when we return. The host for the second round is Petco Park, home of the San Diego Padres, here in San Diego, California. And yet another very pleasant evening for baseball as these two teams will wrap up play here and move on to Los Angeles for the weekend's semifinal and finals. Just moments ago before the game, the umpires, the skippers, and the coaches were all out and all had their picture taken together at home plate before this final game. These umpires have worked all of the games with 2 from the majors and 2 from the International Federation involved in it. Everybody likes to take home some kind of a souvenir. They get some copies of the lineup cards. They get pictures taken with managers and players. And when Sadahara O's around, everybody's looking to get a picture taken with him.
Well, legend, also a legend now in World Baseball Classic. He was actually, he's the guy that's putting pressure on Hara on winning. You know, he won the 2006 Classic. He battled stomach cancer, and he's here and he's supporting that team all the way 100%.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup we will have for Japan. Japan will be the visiting team in this game. Tony Gwynn in the background there, by the way. Ichiro, well, he may have gotten off the snide in last night's game. If he does, that's just one more addition to this highly offensive Japan team. But right there, Aoki in that #3 spot, 4 for 5, 2 RBIs and a run in the ball game they had to win in order to move on to Los Angeles. He has led the ball club throughout this World Baseball Classic at the plate.
Defensively, they can catch the ball the way they practice at such a high speed, and it seems like this team, anywhere from Lee at third, Choi short, Jong at second, and Kim at first, Kang behind the plate. They also, well, first of all, they pick who's won Gold Gloves. Let's go from there. And a tournament like this has been excellent, the way they have pitched, the way they've caught the ball, and certainly has paid off in a big way for them.
Ichiro getting ready to come to the plate. Hwang-Sung Jang is on the mound. He is a 25-year-old left-hander. There you see the numbers versus Japan in this World Classic.
From what I got about what happened in that game, you look at the walks, look at the hits allowed, it was controlled, it was jitters, he was a little nervous. So right now it's a big responsibility too. They know they're in, but still he needs to recover.
Jang only pitched in relief in that game, and that's the only game he has appeared in. Ichiro stands anywhere underway, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Ichiro with a triple in last night's game and a single. Now 6 for 28. Still just a .214 batting average. Does have a couple of RBIs. Lee will play in at third base, and he takes that one towards left center field. Tae-Gun Lee, the center fielder. 2 pitches and the first out recorded in the game. He led South Korea to their first Olympic baseball gold medal in 2008. He worked 12 1/3 innings in the Olympics. He gave up just 6 hits, no runs, no walks, struck out 11, finished with a 1-0 record in the Olympics. So Jang has had experience in international competition, fouled away and under pressure. And we'll try and get it done here tonight. Nakajima, who was batting in the #2 spot, playing at shortstop. He appeared in the ballgame last night against Cuba. For the first time in round 2, he had been ill, played in the first round, did not play in this round until last night. Nakajima will take that one down low. He got into the ball game. He had an RBI and a fly ball. Was hit by a pitch, drew a walk in the game, and he went the distance and appeared to be fine as far as the health is concerned. Nakajima will foul that one into the seats and a 1-2 count.
As you mentioned last night, he comes in, and after that long absence, it seems like the more he saw the ball, the better his swings got. And that is a prototypical swing, the one you just saw right now, where he is so good at staying behind the ball. And he truly is an on-base machine.
4 for 10 in the Classic with the at-bats limited by the illness. Still has picked up 3 RBIs. The shortstop with a 2-ball, 2-strike count on him. teams are not done seeing one another, obviously, as both are going on to Los Angeles. That is fouled off, joining Venezuela and the United States in the semifinals and finals in the World Baseball Classic to take place there. These two teams are returning, in fact, to the semis and finals, as Japan and South Korea both made it to the Final Four last year. It was Cuba and the Dominican Republic, the other two teams in the '06 Classic. Got him on a good breaking ball. Nakajima retired, and there are two down.
Execution. Look at the nice follow through on this one. He lands very softly in that front leg, so whatever jitters he had in that outing earlier in the tournament against Japan seems to be gone.
Hand off a little information there as to what he saw. That one hit by Aoki is going to be caught on the fly by Kim, and that will do it. So Jang, very effective in the first inning, retires the side in order. South Korea's lineup coming up. South Korea coming up. They are 5-1 in this World Baseball Classic, and in the two classics they've won 11 and lost 2. Very strong numbers. And here's the starting lineup, and you talk about strong numbers. Look at the averages that have been put up there. Jung at the top of the order, home run, 2 RBIs and 5 runs with a .313 batting average. He gets on base, things happen.
You know, overall as a team, they're only hitting .262, but with those 7 home runs and also 35 walks is very important. They've been on base a lot. And for Japan, catching the ball, the guys up the middle are the key today for Utsumi, who will be around the plate. And watch when he gets 2 strikes, how dangerous he is.
Utsumi, another left-hander, 26 years old. Pitch is taken outside. Kyung-Woo Jung, who we were just talking about, making the start at second base in the ball game with the 5 for 16 overall, a home run and 2 RBIs. And up the middle, right over the rubber and into center field for a base hit. His 6th hit of the World Baseball Classic, and the leadoff man is on. No sooner talked about him than he got it done. Now take a look at the numbers this left-hander's put up with his home Giants team.
Very good percentage of strikeouts to innings, and also the percentage of walks to innings, which is more important to me than strikeouts to walks. And with 2 strikes, he'll work different things, elevate the ball, breaking ball, split finger, and more than anything. I mentioned the middle a lot, Gary, because a lot of the graphic on his charts, so many balls hit right center to left center field.
Young-Kyu Lee stands in, and that first one right up the middle, a little soft toss over. How deep is this staff from Japan? Well, you've got a starter out there with a 12-8 record at home and a 2.73 earned run average. This is his first appearance in the World Baseball Classic this year.
So it was like asking permission, can I please pitch?
He's been hanging around waiting and looking for the bunt. A strike taken, charging in at third and first with Lee up. We'll see whether or not South Korea plays it that way. You never know. We have mentioned throughout this WBC that this team with their manager In-Sik Kim will do anything at any time, as he is very aggressive, unorthodox in the way he manages. Just does what he feels at the moment is going to get the job done. 1 strikeout on Lee. He does square and bunts it. Wow. And a good one. He pulled the bat back like he was going to let it go by, then decided, no, I'll bunt it, and got a beauty down, sacrifice.
Their manager, as you mentioned, In-Sik Kim, preaches repetition, even failure at times. We learn more from failing, but watch how he keeps the bat. Almost like he gave up, but then he saw the spin. It's a breaking ball. I have to get it right back out there. You only do that when you've seen that a lot, perhaps when you failed a lot at it, to know that you have to get it done somehow.
That's a good bunt. Puts a runner down at second base with 1 away. The 3rd sacrifice for South Korea in this tournament. Lee gets his job done. Kyung-Soo Kim now with a chance at an RBI. They'll hold the runner close at second base. Nakajima, the shortstop, virtually behind him. He can do that with a left-handed hitter up in Kim. Kim is 6 for 18. No home runs and 2 RBIs in the Classic. Makes the start in left field for this ball club. South Korea will try and jump out on top early. I'll tell you one of the things that I think is motivating these teams in this ball game, and talked with some of their management people. That one taken down the left field side. That's towards the wall. It'll take the high hop up and over. It's a double. It's a double. Even though the ball rolled back, the third base umpire, Carlos Ray, already had his arms up and said, nope, that is a two-bagger. A two-bagger, a double. It is good enough to get a run in and a 1-0 lead.
Smooth swing, not trying to do any more than the pitcher's offering you. And this ball's slicing away from the left fielder. Gets a hold of the Western Metal Supply Company, ground rules, and guess what happens quickly? That girl is ahead for Ichiro.
It's a nifty little corner down there. The ball can bounce up underneath that overhanging balcony, go back against the brick wall, hit the balcony, and come back out. So a run in and a 1-0 lead. Kim picks up the RBI. Tak-Hwan Kim, who's playing at first base, is up with a runner on. South Korea's already got a run on 2 hits for the first 3 batters who come to the plate, and the other had the sacrifice. 1-0 delivery. Talking about motivation for this ball game. Both South Korea and Japan are motivated to play the U.S. team. The winner of this game will be guaranteed a shot at the United States because the U.S. is the runner-up from their pool. So the winner plays the runner-up. And for both of these teams, they want the U.S. Talking with their people before the game today, they're not as concerned about coming out of this for winning the pool as they are to win the pool so they can play the U.S. team. They both want that.
That's the way it's worked out so far, and very depleted now, U.S. ball club with the injuries.
And it's not, and I don't mean that to say they want to play them because the team's depleted and it has it. They want to play the U.S. team because that's what they came here for. They came here to face the United States, to measure themselves against the U.S. Breaking ball is taken outside, so some trouble early in this ball game. 4 have come to the plate and 3 have reached. Runners on at first and second. There's the first one.
You know, Gary, going back to that comment, it's like if the U.S. team was playing overseas, at some point you do want to face the homeland in their territory just to measure up against them. And you know you're going to put a great show for the fans no matter what.
Yep. Utsumi will be talked to here as the 26-year-old left-hander struggling to find outs in the first inning. The other thing to bear in mind is that both of these managers will be very careful about pitch counts for their bullpen pitchers. They want to, in case they've got to play in that first game on Saturday, they want to be sure that they've got the pitchers they want available to them for that game. So there is a day off tomorrow. They're going to adjust as far as their pitchers are concerned with what happens in this game based on the need for the weekend. Lee up 2-on, 1 away. Daho Lee's a designated hitter. It is outside, 4 for 11, a 364 average, 2 RBIs.
Now, Gary, think about that predicament. You got to win this game. You want to keep everybody sharp, and also you got to keep everybody available and eligible pretty much. It could come down to the 10th inning.
Yeah.
And then what?
Well, then you make some tough decisions. Runners off first and second. That is at the knees for a strike. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
It could be a game in which somebody from the local media for a respective country could ask, why did you only go 15 pitches on this guy because he was so good? Something that at the end could really hurt you. But
yep, you're looking ahead. The loser of this game plays Venezuela Saturday. The winner of this game plays the United States on Sunday. 1-ball, 1-strike count. And the pitch will miss inside. Utsumi right now can't find the strike zone. He's trying to locate pitches, and you can see inside, outside, up, down. He just can't find that release point at the moment.
A little rusty. You can tell he has been inactive now for a while.
That's tough for these starters. 2-1 count. Grounded down to third base. Tadao up. There's one. Iwamura over to first base. That will get you out of the inning. A run in on a couple of hits. One will be left on base and one complete, determining who's the pool winner from San Diego.
One nothing Korea, top of the second inning. Well, look at the tale of 2 lefties. Korea. Lefty starts on the third base side of the bag, or the mound, I should say. And then later on, we'll take a look at what Utsumi does. And I'll explain why. 2 different styles, but certainly it worked for them.
Two different landing spots out there and those dark marks on the mound. Foul back, Jojima. Kenji Jojima leading it off here in the second inning. He is the designated hitter in this ball game and is batting cleanup, one of 3 catchers being carried by Japan on their roster. Jojima, the major leaguer, with a fine World Baseball Classic total so far. 2-1 count on him.
If they get off to a good start, I should say a lead, perhaps we could see Jojima for 2 at-bats. But it was good to keep him in there today to stay sharp.
Jojima will take a strike on the outside corner. 299 in 11 years that he played in Japan. He has now been in the majors for 3 and has a 272 average over those years. 2-2 delivery to him down the line in right field, and that will end up in the seats. And the 2-ball 2-strike count. He would love to continue what he has started here in the World Baseball Classic. Last year a tough year offensively as he hit only .227, nowhere near those career numbers you see. 2-2 delivery on the way, takes that one to left field. That one's going to be in the warning track, but it will be hauled in. Kim is there, 1 down.
We have seen Jojima take the same approach every single time. Very consistent. He's really staying well on the breaking ball, and that is great news for the Seattle Mariners, as you mentioned, to carry this on all the way to Seattle this year. He is a solid hitter all around. Very short, compact swing.
The ball just does not jump here. He hit that ball hard, but when he got to the outfield, it just settled down.
We thought he had it.
Yeah, it's very hard to drive a ball out here. That should be taken down low for a ball. Uchikawa. Seiichi Uchikawa playing in left field. Jojima back and as a DH, doesn't have to put that equipment on today. 2 for 10 here in the World Baseball Classic. He'll go the other way as well, and another foul ball and a 1-ball 1-strike count.
Going back to those landing spots, if you look at the numbers of Uchikawa, for Won-Sung Yang, he works from the third base side of the mound for a reason that he wants his 2-seam fastball to fade more and then to be able to cut his cut fastball even longer.
That one is out of here. Way back, he got all of it. Goodbye, home run. Uchikawa delivers his first of the World Baseball Classic. 1-1. We said you had a clock one to get it out of here. He did. Murata, another home run hitter, takes it away for a ball.
Uchikawa, just the sound of this told us there was something. Look at the location. The catcher wants it pretty much off the plate. That cut fastball I was just talking about, that one didn't cut.
Uchikawa had 14 home runs in league play in a 500 at-bat season, so some power, not a lot of them, but boy, he got this. He stung that. 2-0 delivery. Murata takes it into right center field. He's got a base hit. He'll make the turn. Lee over to get it and bobbled it. Runner's going to go, and that should be a single and an error. Tae-Gun Lee in center field dropped the ball trying to pick it up. The runner had already stopped between first and second base.
This is not going to make his manager in Sik Kim very happy. I think it was a little lackadaisical, but the base running was very aggressive from the get-go. Takes a long way to get there. Unable to handle it. Not this guy. This guy thought double all the way. Great reaction.
So a single and an error will put a runner on at second base. So Japan comes right back. They've tied the ball game up at 1. Each team now with 2 hits. South Korea had a chance in that first inning to have a big inning, as they had 3 of the first 4 batters on, but that double play ball ended it. Now Japan's come right back. With this ball game tied up and a chance here to take the lead as Aki Iwamura stands in.
There's been 3 balls now in this inning hit very hard. So location has been a problem so far this inning for Jan.
Iwamura 4 for 17, looking for his first RBI in the Classic.
I don't think we've said this many times, Gary, about the Japanese or the Korean pitchers, but this seems to be the one guy that over tries, and the ball flattens out, and that's why he's getting hit so hard right now.
Got a 2-0 count. Iwamura will take the strike on the fastball, and these two teams are right back in it. Jae-Woo Lee warming up in the bullpen. Already we see action. South Korea may not only want to protect their bullpen, they may want to protect their starter, keep him available to throw over the weekend. 2-1 delivery on the way, and that one to short will hold the runner. Jung Choi does not get it there in time. Runner's going to go to third, and some sloppy play by South Korea will put runners on at first and third. We'll see whether they will credit him with a hit on that and then the error.
That's what Kim prides himself in, the repetition of making plays. This is pretty much a routine play. And he just threw a sinker over to first base. And what would have been, it's still a very close play. They came into this game with only 2 errors in the whole tournament. And we're looking at 2 here on consecutive plays.
Errors on the throw on the shortstop, a single and an error allowing the runner to move up. Still only 1 away. Runners at first and third, and the bats for Japan have come out swinging. Abe, who is doing the catching in this ball game, only has had a couple of at bats of the Classic. 271 average back home with the Uramori Giants.
Well, that swing seems like he's been playing every single day. Came out hacking.
Runners off first and third. Easy toss over to the bag at first base. Japan with a chance to take the lead. Still only 1 down here in the inning, and 2 errors already charged to South Korea. A little harder toss over to first. Not a big lead over there, however. You're looking at a catcher who's a 5-time All-Star, a Gold Glove winner in 2008. Career average of 283 for him. And he'll take that one down the line in left field towards that corner, and it is a foul ball.
I do not recall an inning since Sunday where I've seen more comfortable swings. And here's what's happening. We have not seen anybody being pushed off the plate. Everybody's leaning over the plate. And when this happens, you're not protecting well against your slider, because if you just leave it an inch out, they're going to get to it or fight it off. So he needs to brush some people back.
Get comfortable in the batter's box, and you're going to get good swings. As Jose says, that's what's going on right here. Abe waiting on an 0-2 count, 1 down. And Abe cuts through that one. Big strikeout. That'll be the second of the ball game for Jang. 2 down.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not just your location, but the contrast of the pitch. And because Abe hadn't played that much, sometimes it's real tough to pick up the spin. But he got beat.
Japan comes in hitting 264 as a team, almost exactly the same for South Korea, 262. Japan's outscored their opposition 30-7 in the Classic. That ball in the air to right field, not deep. Long run. Lee coming. Can't get it. 1 run is scored. They'll hold the runner at third. An RBI bloop single down the right field line. Young Kyu Lee was playing deep and right, and he had a couple of miles to run, and he couldn't get there. And Japan's got a 2-1 lead.
Again, leading over the plate. When you're comfortable, you're going to get opportunities to make contact. Even though this ball stayed in the air a long time, all we have to look at is to where young Kyu Lee was playing and how much room he had to cover.
Not even close to getting there. Kataoka, the number 9 hitter, credited with a single in the RBI. And there are runners at first and third as Iwamura stopped at third base. 4 hits now for Japan, top of the order. Here's Ichiro. Flied up the center, first time up, grounded to first, right on the bag. Kim takes it there. But a sloppy inning for South Korea. Japan takes advantage of it, including a leadoff home run. Uchikawa got a hold of it, the first homer he's had in the World Baseball Classic. And Japan, going to the bottom of the second, takes a 2-1 lead over South Korea. Two runs, 4 hits, no errors for Japan. A run on 2 hits and 2 errors for Korea. One of those runs unearned for Japan in that second inning. Oh, the bats are alive here at the early part of this ball game. Byung-ho Lee, who is playing at third base, has gone 4 for 12. He's had 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Throttled back a little bit, foul tipped that one into the mitt. Utsumi, the starter, see if he can settle in a little bit here, as he gave up a walk, single, and a double in that first inning, but out of it with only 1 run scoring. Shattered the bat. Nakajima up. Lee retired, 1 down. Umpires have been busy. Bill Miller's got the plate for this one. Paul Heinem, who is from Australia, will be at first. Veteran Joe West at second base. And Carlos Ray from Puerto Rico is at third base.
I like that more and more. The more I hear you say, the better I know that you paid attention in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, come to Puerto Rico. I have a great time in Puerto Rico.
I thought it was Coronado.
Huh? Well, Coronado here, if
That's
you're coming here to. So, yeah, absolutely. Coronado Beach here in San Diego. Taken outside by Lee. Sadahara. Oh,
I got a hitting lesson from him today for about 20 minutes, of course, through the interpreter. I'm not going to claim any Japanese prowess or anything like that, but here's what he told me. He goes, hitting, it's a lot like pitching. That's why Sadahara, a magnificent home run hitter in Japan in baseball history, used to have the high leg kick.
Ooh. Shot up the middle. Lee is on.
Mr. O, who also won the championship here for Team Japan as a manager in 2006, said he used to practice with a fishing rod. He goes, to me, hitting was like a whip. And I go, say it again. He goes, it's like a whip, because when you throw in a fishing rod, you're snapping your wrists. And to me, it was all about keeping a loose grip. And with the high leg kick, he goes, if you look at a pitcher and you stop, that's why we preach so much balance, because I stopped my swing, and it was like if you put a ball on my hand and take the bat away, it was like I was delivering the ball home. How about that?
Interesting. Rod Carew, Tony Oliva kind of flip, great wrist, pop the ball out. But Sadahara could do it for distance.
Way out there.
Yeah.
He gave me a lesson too, and an earful on weights and weight training. He goes, we don't need to do that. You hit with your legs.
Runner on at first base. It is always interesting in baseball. Great players will argue forever, especially when it comes to hitting, about what the best way is to do it.
He says that's what we preach so much, running, a lot of repetition in spring. Their spring training is like a month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah.
He goes, and it's mostly about running and conditioning.
Get the legs in shape. Ted Williams argued for his entire life that any good hitter could not have an uppercut, that the bat had to come through the strike zone on a plane, and that would result in line drive and fly balls. And he spent half his life arguing about that, fouled off with many who said no, you have to have some of an uppercut if you're going to be a home run hitter in order to drive it out. He and Sadahara would have had a great discussion about hitting, because they are fundamentally different in the way they approach working at the plate.
As we've been preaching since the beginning of this tournament, it is okay. It's whatever works for you.
Yeah. There are different ways to succeed in the game. Doing the catching, Minho Khan at the plate, ground ball to third. It is a foul ball. Just in case you keep going. Only 2 at bats for the backup catcher in the World Baseball Classic for South Korea. Well, he's getting an opportunity here in this ball game. Believe me, when they've been traveling around as much as they have and working out as hard as they have, the opportunity to get into a ball game important for them and for the team so they can feel part of it. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Lee on at first base. Timeout taken at the plate. Japan's got the 2-1 lead, bottom half of the 2nd inning. Fastball will miss outside from the lefty. 2-2.
Yeah, they have travel. In fact, both of these ball clubs between round 1 and round 2 made a stop in Arizona to play some exhibition games, and both managers agreed. It seems like we're so jet lagged that during the exhibition games in Arizona we were half asleep. They didn't play very well.
I can believe that. Swung on and missed. Great off-speed breaking ball. Itsumi gets the strikeout, his first of the ball game. 2 down.
Yeah, and there's a pitch he's been looking for, and when he gets 2 strikes on you, that is filthy. I mean, that is, you don't know if you have to look down or sideways like a slider or a curveball.
Another player getting an opportunity, batting 9th and playing at shortstop in this ball game. Jung Choi. He has not had an at-bat in the World Baseball Classic and will take the pitch up high. Interesting, talking about all the travel that these teams in particular have had to go through. How do you figure this? The United States team, which hasn't had to go anywhere, has had, I think, 7 or 8 injuries to players so far on their roster. These 2 teams have not had one. Not one. And they've the ones who've had jet lag, travel, had played more games.
That's right.
Than the U.S. and yet an injury nowhere. 1-0 delivery on the way and held up on it.
And also, Gary, they have played more stressful games. I mean, back at home, you know, it was about pride. Exhibition game against teams from Japan were packed.
Yep.
Nobody wants to go out there and be embarrassed. They play the Giants and they played a couple teams over there before they even got here. So, you know, in terms of stressful and playing more innings than the U.S. guys, they have done it.
And stayed healthy. 2-0 count. Choi will take that one to short. Nakajima will go to second for the force out to Iwamoro. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. San Diego the site. The World Baseball Classic final game here. 2-1 Japan leading. Bit of everything going on right there, wasn't there?
We've got some busy people here.
Yes. Nakajima. You saw the performances that were going on before the game in part out in the outfield. 1-0 count. Nakajima struck out his first time up. 2-1 lead Japan. That one to right field. Young Kyu Lee is there. He's got it. Nakajima's the first out.
Here you mentioned how the umpires have been real busy, you know, teaching the game and passing it on to umpires from Australia, from Puerto Rico, from Panama. But how about the gesture from the umpires and getting some soldiers together here in San Diego? Soldiers came all the way down from 29 Palms, from Camp Pendleton for an umpires clinic.
And the umpires went and worked that clinic. It was great at 125. And there are going to be some scholarships awarded to some of those attendees to go on to professional umpiring camps. Those who are thinking about making umpiring a vocation. Great idea. Aoki. Lee. 2 fly balls, 2 down. We're talking about Team USA, which is going to be heading with Venezuela to Los Angeles to play this weekend. They are the other 2 teams to join Japan and South Korea. Evan Longoria is going to replace Chipper Jones. So Longoria, after a couple of days of discussion about it, decided he would go. So they've got a third baseman. What they don't have is a first baseman.
They needed a boost like this. Even David Wright's a little banged up. He fell a ball with his foot the other day. And, you know, you're going to be stacked against a team like Venezuela with Magdio Ordonez and Miguel Cabrera and Carlos. I mean, they have a very good ball club, and I expect to see more offense in L.A.
Yep. One would think so.
Adam Dunn. I mean, you name it. There's some bang out there.
USA will be playing their game on Sunday against the winner of this game. Jojima with 2 down and nobody on. Jojima flying out to left field his first time up, 2 away. Wong Sam Jung on the mound, no walks, 2 strikeouts. That's Tony Gwynn, Mr. Padre, the statue way out there in center field. Fouled off.
I think that statue, when he made contact, it was between short and third, right there. They used to call it the 6.5 hole.
Tony Gwynn would shoot balls into the outfield with that swing right there. Going the other way. Between short and third. Made a living at it. That one up the middle, just under the glove. Young could not believe it, but that one got through. Jojima's on with a base hit. Tony Gwynn is in the Hall of Fame, and there was another Hall of Famer on hand here at the ballpark to throw out the first pitch. Dave Winfield. 465 career homers, elected in 2001, over 3,000 hits, and still has an arm.
Dave Winfield with our ceremonial.
He instilled a lot of fear into runners. Make number 31. Great basketball player too. College.
But wasn't he drafted in 3 sports?
3 sports:
baseball, basketball, football.
and football.
Yeah. You imagine him as a tight end, cutting across the middle if you're a linebacker?
No.
Yikes.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Uchikawa, a home run in the 2nd inning. Japan's got a 2-1 lead in this ball game. He got the first run on that dinger.
You know, Gary, as a young middle infielder, take a hold of that. Short swing. Just as we're talking that the ball doesn't carry here. That's how you have to hit it.
4th home run Japan has hit. They've given up only 1 in the entire Classic. 1-1 delivery on the way the other way, foul.
I was going to tell you, as a young middle infielder, one time, to talk about Dave Winfield, a manager in spring training tells me, play in. There's a man at third. And I said, play in? I just saw this guy hit batting practice and there's no grass left here. Oh, it was really fearful to play in with Dave Winfield was at the plate.
You don't charge very hard. You don't charge with your heart when he's at the plate. And you're charging in. Runner goes, and it'll be a stolen base and an easy one. That ball was in the dirt. So Jojima picks up the stolen base.
Well, Jojima is a new man. He is truly alive and showing those colors with the bat, with his legs, and that is excellent news for his manager in Seattle, his new general manager, Jack Zarenzik.
Jojima had 2 stolen bases last year, 5 in the last 3 years. Gets one here. Perfect pitch to run on. Uchikawa's got another RBI chance now with 2 down. The 2-2 delivery on the way in the dirt, block. Nice play. Minho Khan had to knock that one down.
Now the Mariners with an Asian American manager. How about that for baseball? That's historic. Don Wakamatsu, former catcher himself, who saw a lot of this and did a lot of this all the way from his days in Arizona State.
Uchikawa now with a 3-ball 2-strike count. Runner will be off and going on contact from second base. 3-2 deliveries up the middle, knocked down, beautiful play, and gets the out. Kung Woo Chung at second base not only makes a great play, but he saves a run. He had the body in the air parallel to the earth on that one. No runs, 1 hit, and a runner left on. Japan's lead still 2-1. What are the chances of the guy making a great defensive play leading off the next half inning?
Well, you have 1 in 8 when there's a DH. You talked about parallel to the earth. Oh my goodness, he shows why he is a Gold Glover. Won that Gold Glove in 2006. Also a very versatile infielder. Timing. You're supposed to knock the ball down here. Man at second base, 2 outs. Just don't let it go through. And it took a nice hop. Then get set, fire away. Quick release.
Outstanding play. 1-1 count on Young. He shows bunt, takes the high strike call. Kwon Woo Young had a single and scored in the first inning. Young Soo Kim delivered the RBI double for South Korea for their run. Uchikawa's had a home run for Japan and an unearned run Kataoka got on an RBI base hit, and 2 errors were committed by South Korea in the second inning. Lashed into the seats and foul, and the count holds at 1-2.
Watch the big knob. A lot of these players have the bat, the bottom of the bat. That is an exaggerated knob compared to Major League Baseball. Reason? They want those little guys to have better bat control.
1-2 delivery on the way, and got him to chase one. One down here in the third inning. Keep up with all the latest World Baseball Classic news and stats. Visit the official online shop of the World Baseball Classic, www.worldbaseballclassic.com. The largest selection of authentic World Baseball items, 16 countries, clubhouse gear, t-shirts, jerseys, and more. That's www.worldbaseballclassic.com. Base is empty here, 1 away. Ooh, wow, that hit him in the head. Young Kyu Lee.
This has nothing to do with a rivalry. The concerned Insik Kim looks over at Utsumi. This one just got away. It is lefty against lefty, and they have been leaning in on him. 2-seam fastball, and you are trained and told to turn your head in just to avoid more surface of your face. And hopefully Young Kyu Lee is fine, but what a blow.
Young player, 23 years old. Rarely do you see a ball hit there. I mean, that it was at the bottom of the helmet on the back of his head.
How many times you see a guy get hit in the head and have no assistance going back to the dugout either?
What you have to be careful of here, obviously, is the concussion aspect of it, which sometimes does not show up until later.
Yeah, I'm so glad his face is not exposed. If anything, it doesn't diminish the danger or the pain, but he was able to turn and get more of the helmet.
Listen to it. Two very difficult things now have to happen. Utsumi has to throw a pitch. That's not easy to do. And Young Soo Kim has to stand in the batter's box. That's not easy to do. Not for this next pitch.
Go to the catcher. How about calling a fastball in on the lefty from now on?
Yeah. Jung-Wook Lee has come on as the pinch runner at first base. And a breaking ball taken up high, went with an off-speed curveball.
Usually that is a pattern followed by anybody in the world. After you hit somebody, usually you're very tentative. So you go inside for a while.
Lee on at first base. Jung-Wook Lee does not go. The pitch is taken down low. Now the most important thing for Utsumi, the pitcher, is to throw a strike. He's got to get his confidence back, and that's why this visit to the mound is going to take place. You can't be afraid to keep pitching.
Always heard from pitching coaches. Buddy Black was big on this. Now the Padres manager. After you feel a little tentative because you hit somebody, think about the finish. Think about the release point. Don't think so much about location. That will take you away from saying, let me just try to be too fine or be too careful. Buddy Black says, find the glove, but think about the release point so you drive down.
Now a 2-0 count with only one away. Young-Soo Kim at the plate. And the throw over to get Lee back. Jungwook Lee, who is on, has got a pretty decent lead over there, coming on as the pinch runner in the ball game. And the bullpen, Komatsu, Iwata, both getting ready to go. We're only in the third inning. 2-0 count. And he does get the strike high and on the inside part of the plate. And it goes to 2-1. Kim has had 7 hits and 19 at bats. Very solid .368 average here in the Classic. Great shot from on high outside the ballpark. One of the hotels that's outside the yard here from up on that roof. Step off, quick throw. Petco Park here in San Diego has become part of a whole development that has taken place in one of the older sections of the city. Lots of condominiums, a number of hotels, great restaurants, bars. It's become a very popular area. The Gaslamp District of San Diego, which really had fallen to its demise 10-15 years ago, has now been resurrected as one of the very bright and energetic parts of this city.
You know, Gary, among other great things is the fact that you know there's a ballpark, but it's not the structure that calls your attention.
It is. That's exactly right. Just fits in perfectly in this neighborhood. 2-1 count. You don't get many views like that of a game. Swung on and foul tipped, and the count will go to 2-2. If you're afraid of heights, you might want to be looking at that pitcher for too long.
Talk about heights. Last night I'm looking down my window from the hotel and I'm looking. The Cuban buses don't leave. The Cuban team did not leave the ballpark until about 12:45 a.m. this morning. They had a long meeting after they got eliminated.
And they didn't talk to anybody. Even the manager didn't come out. He issued a 1-paragraph statement, and that was it. 2-2 count. Kim will foul that one away. I thought they played well, not as well as teams from Cuba have done in the past, but we have noted Cuba's a team in transition with older players about to retire, young players with not a lot of experience. They'll be fine. They've got great talent. Every organization goes through that, and they're no different.
That's right. Organizations, teams, you name it.
You can't keep all your stars active forever. 2-2 count. Kim watches one that just misses away. RBI double, his first time up. Runner on at first base here, 1 out.
Now trying to go away with that fastball. Didn't miss by a whole lot. We can paint outer half like that and pitch inside. Yeah, that's where he's had a lot of success.
Runner not going. A chopper to first. Pitcher to cover. They got the play at second base instead. Good play. So they get the lead runner off that chop. Fielder's choice. 2 down and a runner on at first.
I was feeling like a third baseman. Now the angles change. He has to throw the other way on a one hopper to the shortstop. Nakajima, outstanding pickup. Now look at the reaction. You know where you are. You find the runner. You find daylight between the runner and your fielder.
Murata, the first baseman, has played both first and third here in the World Baseball Classic, and that's going to be it. Utsemi's going to come out of the ball game having thrown just 41 pitches of the 85 that was allotted to him. He will leave with Japan leading South Korea 2-1. One of the largest ports on the West Coast, both militarily, where the Navy Yard is, and also the largest port for cars imported into the United States on the West Coast. And that's only a couple of blocks away from the ballpark and the bridge that goes over to Coronado, where that beautiful beach was that we showed you at the start of the game. And to your right, you see the convention center, an enormous convention center on the water here in San Diego. Japan tonight, first time a starting pitcher has gone less than 4 innings in this World Baseball Classic. Komatsu has come out of the bullpen to do the pitching. And according to the numbers that we have, he has not pitched here in the World Baseball Classic. Yet another pitcher on this deep staff for Japan. Komatsu with a runner on at first base and 2 down, facing the cleanup batter, Taekwon Kim, who drew a walk his first time up. And will miss inside with it for a ball.
Gary, and I like what Tatsunori Hara, their manager, has done for the Japanese staff, the way he's built it. We talked about strategies of building a lot of setup guys or a couple of closers, but I would favor, and I do favor, starting pitchers. They can go through. You know, long relief. I don't have to get them out right away, because at some point during the game, if they have a bad inning, they're going to find a way to get out of it.
1-0 count with 2 down. Interestingly, in that regard, Jose, 10 of the 13 pitchers on this staff for Japan are starters. And I believe that's more than any other staff as far as starting pitchers are concerned.
I think it plays well in this tournament. You can get 4 from somebody, throw out there somebody else for 2 or 3. Even with a pitch limit, it doesn't matter.
1-1 count. Kim will take the strike after drawing a walk his first time up. 8 for 19, a powerful .421 average, 2 home runs, and a team leading 9 RBIs driven in for South Korea. He's been the big bat that we talked about at the start of our broadcast. 1-2, 2 away. Runner on at first base. Long set. And got him. Off-speed delivery. Tatsu gets the strikeout. No runs, no hits. A base runner left on. The scenic looking across that bridge that goes to Coronado back towards the city, downtown San Diego. A 2-1 lead for Japan going to the 4th inning. We will get a pitching change as well. Seung-Ho Lee will come on to do the pitching. It'll be his 2nd appearance of the World Baseball Classic.
Straight over the top, fastball, curveball, more of a slurve type. And right now for him, it's just getting ready. March 5th only. Last time he pitched, it's been a while, so getting him ready is to also, Gary, find a guy that perhaps you can give opportunities to go into the semifinals and the finals. You never know.
Might find somebody who's hot here. And staying on, Jung-Wook Lee, who came on as the pinch runner for Young Kim Kyu Lee, who was hit by that pitch, and we certainly hope he is all right, as he left the field under his own power and will be taken back for examinations by the doctor. Murata stands in. Playing at first base in the ball game. He had a single and scored in the 2nd inning, an unearned run, which is right now the difference in the ball game. Japan 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Korea a run on 3 hits, 2 costly errors. Both teams have left 3 on base. Murata will chop it down to 3rd base, and it is a foul ball. The winner of this ball game will play the United States on Sunday. The loser of this ball game will play Venezuela on Saturday. The highest bidder will get to take the South Korean sign home that still has the St. Patrick's Day lights on it.
Not missing a beat.
Not missing a beat. 1-1 delivery. There's an off-speed breaking ball. Wow, would he throttle back on that thing? It was 60 miles an hour. Here you see the lineup. Los Angeles semifinal game. The runner-up from this one, Venezuela. That'll be Saturday at 9, Sunday at 8. The United States will play the winner of this game, and then the 2 winners play on Monday. 1-2 pitch down the line, right field, but that'll be in the bullpen, foul.
Talk about an Uncle Charlie curveball. Looks like this rolls us out of his fingers twice. Look at this. Better time it right.
Makes you feel bad as a hitter.
You can hang it, and if you can't pull the trigger, it doesn't matter.
1 ball, 2 strike count. There it is again.
You know what he does when he throws that curveball? His push-off leg is even more exaggerated. So he's pushing off very far to throw the hitter's timing off, thinking fastball, and then just rolled it over those fingers.
Count goes to 2-2 on Murata takes that one to the gap in right center field, and nobody's going to get that one. Cut off, though. Nice play. Tae-Gun Lee, the center fielder, got over there and holds him to a very long single. Murata's 2 for 2, and he's hurt. Guess we shouldn't have talked about how nobody had been hurt on either of these teams yet.
Well, he is one of their mainstays, a bat that they really need. Here's how it happened. About 2 steps from first base. You see him pulling over, and let's not forget, Gary, the play that he was involved in before. Maybe that's where everything started and what cost him, because he hit a single to right center field, just about. He started, he stopped, and kept going again. And a lot of times that quick reflex explosion, stop and go can really do it for you. And we certainly hope he's okay, because they really need him.
Obviously coming out of the ball game with what looked like a hammy that popped on him. So we will get another pinch runner in the ball game, as these teams are losing people here in this one.
Go back to the second inning, and here's where I'm talking about as to maybe why this muscle situation started. The starting and the stopping here.
May have had a part in it. Kamihi comes on to do the running. Yoshiyuki Kamihi is on at first base with a big lead, and will get the toss over. So Murata's out of the ball game, delivering the single, 2 for 2. He'll hope he's all right. Leadoff single here in the 4th inning. Aki Iwamura, he delivered a single his first time up in the game. Lee's pitch to him will be taken outside for a ball.
Iwamura is not going to light you up with the numbers, which he did for 9 years in Japan. I'm talking about his numbers in the big league, but in terms of an every single day solid all-around player, that he is.
Sung-Ho Lee is on to do the pitching. A 1-0 count, nobody out. Iwamura will take the breaking ball outside. And 2-0. These two teams in another one of their battles. 4th time they have met in this World Baseball Classic. Incredibly, South Korea lost the first one 14-2, and then has beaten Japan 1-0 and 4-1.
Very interesting move to first base by the lefty Sung-Ho Lee. He shows it very early with his body weight going in that direction towards the runner.
27-year-old left-hander, and again the toss over.
It becomes really an easy move to read. As a runner, you focus on his weight. Where is he going? Watch. He's not hiding anything. I'm going to first. Yep.
Lee delivers 2-0 this time, and will get the inside corner for a strike. Iwamura now 2-1. Lee finished up with a 4-1 record on the championship team this past season. 3.57 ERA. He had a couple of saves. He only worked 36 innings and gave up 26 walks while striking out 28. So not a lot of big numbers for him in this past year. 2-1 delivered. Iwamura went outside and missed. 3-1.
I would definitely run Kame here, even if it's a little delayed. Iwamura is a good contact hitter. Hits the ball on the ground a lot. I want to keep the pressure on.
Kamihi at first base. 3-1 delivery, runner goes, and that is a strike. And that is a tough call for Min-Ho Kang, the catcher. He thought that was a walk when Iwamura headed off to first base and either did not hear or understand the call strike, so he didn't throw, and it'll be a stolen base.
There is some confusion because if he thought it was a ball, he made every attempt to throw to second base. But he was so confident perhaps that it was a strike that that's why he made the attempt.
So a stolen base moves Kamihi down, and it's foul back, and a 3-ball 2-strike count on Iwamura. Obviously that can be a problem in International League play, a language differential between the umpire and the hitter. The verbal is what the hitter usually and the catcher hear, and if they're not sure of what was said, you can get plays like that. 3-ball 2-strike count. Pretty good lead at second. Swung on and missed as he went after one high and away. So Lee will get his first strikeout, and there's the first out here in the 4th inning.
That's one at bat we might want to remember later on, because after the stolen base, to get a guy like Iwamura out on a pitch that was pretty much over the plate and hittable, and in fact not being able to move the runner to third, could become crucial later on.
Brought him back and got him out. One down. Abe, who was doing the catching in the ball game, struck out his first time up. Shinosuke Abe, only 3 at bats in the Classic, looking for his first hit. He'll try and hold that runner a little closer here, and the fastball is going to be in there for a strike. Japan's the defending champion from the first World Baseball Classic in '06, guaranteed with a shot to defend it, going to Los Angeles along with South Korea. Down to first base. Big hop taken. Kim goes to the bag. Abe is retired. We talked about how this rivalry between these two teams is a lot like the Red Sox Yankees for Major League Baseball fans to understand. Since 2000, you see what has gone on in the World Baseball Classic. Korea has had the lead 4-2 in the Olympics. Korea's had a 3-1 edge in the World Cup play. Japan's had the edge 2-1, and in the Intercontinental Cup, Japan with a 1-0 edge.
And with every passing tournament, also part of the pattern here is they're getting better and better players with more experience, so the competitions become even tougher on both sides.
If you add all that up, South Korea's got an 8-6 lead over Japan since 2000. Kataoka had a single and an RBI. He's got a runner at second base, 2 down, batting in the 9 spot and playing at third base. 2 for 8 in the Classic. Breaking ball will be taken up high. Going to come to the ballpark. Why not enjoy it? The fans for South Korea and Japan have been the most vocal and have had a great time. 2-0 delivery on the way. Up high, 3-0.
They have been so vibrant before the first pitch. Look at their heroes as they stretch out, play catch before the game.
Ichiro waiting on deck. 3-0. And ball 4. All he needs one name. Ichiro, first and third. He's 0 for 2. He has flied out, grounded out. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Japan's got the 2-1 lead and a chance to add to it right here. Sung-Ho Lee on the mound. Ichiro 6 for 30, hitting 200 in the Classic, 2 RBIs. One of the reasons this Classic and these two teams have heated up in competition In 2006, in the first Baseball World Classic, Ichiro, when he joined the team from Japan, said to the press, "I will inject the idea to South Koreans that they can't beat Japan during the next 30 years." South Korea did not take kindly to that and went on and won a couple of games against Japan. Throw over and a runner back, and it added fuel to the fire, because for South Korea, they've had that underdog image in baseball to the Japanese play over the years, over the decades, and that was kind of like someone banging on their head when they were down and somebody saying, "That's enough, we're not going to take this anymore." Runner goes from first, throw through, runner from third stays, stolen base. Yamaoka picks it up.
I like this style of baseball. Send the guy 3-1 and also put more pressure down, discount with Ichiro Suzuki. When a new pitcher comes in, you don't wait to put pressure on him. You apply it immediately. Don't wait for opportunities. You create opportunities.
Ichiro's got a big chance right here. Base hit, and he'll be 2 in. The outfield's moved in a couple of steps all the way around on him. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. There's that breaking ball, and he missed. 2-1. That pitch does have some hang time to it.
He's got that Uncle Chuck, man. Look at the shortstop, how much he has to cheat, disrespecting Ichiro's speed.
Ichiro on a check swing. He got fooled and foul tipped it. He tried to pull that bat back, and the ball hit the bat rather than the other way around, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count on him.
Good delivery again. That spinner. There's so much contrast between his fastball and that curveball. It's like a changeup curveball.
Yeah, it is. 2-2. 2 in scoring position, 2 down. Ichiro waiting. Breaking ball hit in the air to right field. That is back near the warning track and caught. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left in scoring position. It remains a 2-1 Japan lead. 60 degrees at game time here in San Diego tonight. Mostly clear skies and none of the fog, marine layer that was here last night.
Well, you see a lot of this in Coronado Island, don't you? Beautiful bougainvilleas.
Bougainvilleas in blossom. I love this weather with all that moisture in the air. Uchikawa is going over to play first base. Murata had to come out after what looked like a hamstring pull, and Kami'i, who came on to run for him, stays in the ballgame in left field where Uchikawa had been playing. Those are the changes defensively. Bottom half of the 4th inning, South Korea up, and that one bounced in the dirt. Na-Ho Lee hit into a double play, and a big double play in the 1st inning, and South Korea got their run. Looked as though they might have something going. They had runners at first and second, only 1 away, and the ground ball double play ended the inning. Designated hitter batting .333 in the Classic, and he'll turn away from it inside.
You know, just when you think he's not ready to hit, because he is very relaxed, he puts that bat on his shoulder. It's not where the bat is, but his hands are ready to trigger quickly with that loose grip. Look at that.
He's got some power, and will take the strike. 2-1.
I mentioned the big knob that they recommend to the smaller hitters, contact hitters, but when it comes out to the big guy, they said just hold it all the way in the bottom and just swing away.
That power grip. He hit 26 home runs, 88 RBIs back in '06. This past season, down to 18 homers, 94 RBIs, and will miss inside to him. Kamatsu came on in the last inning, got a strikeout, facing only 1 batter. Now begins work here in this inning as you take a look in from center field. One of the bullpens, South Korea, is out there in center. Japanese bullpen is down the right field line. 3-1 count, and is on with a walk. So a leadoff walk here in the 4th inning. Potential tying run for South Korea is on.
Well, that they're not afraid to do. They came into this ball game with 35 walks in the 6 games they have played.
Watanabe and Tanaka both in the bullpen for Japan. Byung-ho Lee grounded out his first time up, the third baseman for South Korea. South Korea had a 1-0 lead in the first. Japan got 2 in the second, and those are all the runs scored in the ball game. And a look over. Interesting story in the Career Times today, talking about these two teams and the rivalry. It had a title which fits what we were talking about earlier. The title of the story was Korean Rags versus Japanese Riches. And this is a Korean newspaper. That is taken for a strike. They pointed out the differences between these two teams, how Japan has 4,000 high schools that play baseball. South Korea has 50. Japan's got 6 dome stadiums. South Korea has none. The amateur leagues in Korea don't have enough fields to play on, so they're given 7 innings or 2 hours to play if there's another amateur team waiting to play. You don't even get 9 full innings. Lee will take that one for a strike. For the squad that's here from Japan, their players in the coming year are going to earn 23.7 billion won. That's South Korean won. 23.7 billion. The team from South Korea will earn 4.7 billion won. 1-1. Swung on a miss. So you see why South Korea's had somewhat of a complex.
Well, clearly it is. I think they're building for a gigantic and phenomenal finish when you talk about preparation and the way they got here. And the best thing about this whole story, Gary, is the fact that Major League Baseball Players Union and all the federations involved said, okay, even field. How about the World Baseball Classic? Let's throw it all out there.
That's why it means so much to these teams from outside the United States. Their chance to compete on the international level and show what they have. 1-2 delivery on the way. It's foul back. Runner at first. Nobody out.
Go back to just the Dominican Republic and all the academies and all the players that come through there and how they're accustomed more to the American culture before they even touch the United States. I think it's a little tougher for these players when they come to the United States coming from Asia. Even though they are accommodated with translators and who knows what, but regardless, you have to admire how they get to the point in which sometimes they say, no, I don't want to go to the U.S.
Exactly. Yep. 1-2 count. Swung on and missed. Got him. A walk and a strikeout in the inning. Komatsu gets his second K. We were going to talk about that young man you saw holding the thunder stick, but he was dressed in camouflage, so you couldn't see him anyway. So we couldn't talk about it.
Oh, where is it?
You can't see him. He's in camouflage.
Now you got me, man.
Lee,
I keep looking for
Lee is up. You can't look and see somebody who's in camouflage. That's the whole point.
Don't you look for like certain movement or something? There it is.
Well, he could see the thunder stick that the young man had. Inside to him. Jackknifes away. A single first time up. Chuk-Kun Lee. Big average in his professional league. He's got a runner on at first base here. Da-Ho Lee with one down. 2-1 Japan leading. Outfield backed up and left and center, in and right. And the 1-0 slider is in there for a strike. So they play him to pull with power, and if he goes the other way, to try and drop one in. Tadayoshi Komatsu, fourth batter he's faced since coming out of the pen. Itsumi worked 2 2/3 innings, gave up a run on 5 hits, a walk and a strikeout for the starter. Another slider that's in at the knees. 1 ball 2 strike count. Lee didn't think so.
You know, Gary, back to your rags to riches and rags and riches story is a lot of these Japanese players are heroes and popular in high school. I mean, guys are playing professional baseball 3 years into, and they already have a Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
In their homes.
Well, that's how important baseball's always been in Japan, right? So they get noticed if they're any good very early. 1-2 delivery. Grounded to third, short, hop, nice play. There's one, relay. Not in time. Can't do it much better than that. Kataoka, third base, had the short hop and made a perfect throw to Iwamura. They get the lead runner.
This is changing directions now defensively. Find the hop, smooth hands, a solid feed to a second baseman. And the only reason this is not a double play is because the third baseman had to charge the ball initially. And now you're throwing backwards. You throw backwards, usually it makes it a little tougher to turn that.
So now 2 down with a runner on at first. Number 8 hitter Min-Ho Kang, who is doing the catching in the ball game, a strikeout victim, his first time up. 6 hits for Japan, 3 for South Korea. Winner of this game will be the winner of this pool and will go ranked number 1 from San Diego. The loser will go to Los Angeles, ranked 2nd. Pitch is taken down low. The runner-up plays Venezuela Saturday. The loser of this game, winner of this game, plays the United States on Sunday, with the final to be played on Monday. (1-0) the count. Wants the signs again. Abe makes sure the batter's not looking down as he relays them. And wanted the throw over to first base.
Someday I would like to experience this matchup in their homeland. Just to get a feel for it.
Yeah, really. These two teams, when they play against one another, and then the international competitions in Europe and Asia. Runner goes, swung and a miss, and a bad throw all the way into center field. There'll be no play at third base. So it'll be a stolen base. Tak Kyun Lee, and an error on Abe, the catcher, allowing the runner to go to third.
Well, they study a lot. Watch this jump. Had him all the way before he even started his motion towards the plate. Lee had him. Well read. You find the bag, even though it's not a pop-up slide going in feet first. You pop real fast, even when you dive by looking over your right shoulder.
First stolen base in this ball game. South Korea now with a chance to get this ball game tied up. Potential tying runs on at third. There are 2 down. And a 1-ball 1-strike count on Kang, the catcher. Komatsu with a very long look over to third. 1-1 way up high. 2-ball 1-strike count.
A long look, Gary, and also he starts his motion as he goes from the stretch by looking at the runner. Something very unusual. Usually pitching coaches will tell you, look at the target, don't worry about the runner. We've seen guys do the same thing for these ball clubs with men on second.
Min-Ho Kang waiting at the plate for the 2-1 delivery. Jammed and fights it off. 2-2.
Start your delivery towards home plate by looking at the runner at third. Unusual,
Very.
but if you throw strikes, why change?
Really no need to hold. I mean, you're not really trying to hold the runner at third. You don't want him jumping around over there, but third baseman's back normal position. There's not going to be any throw. 2-2, 2 down. And a towering rainmaker fly ball over near the stands, and there'll be no play. Virtually no wind blowing here tonight, so these Pop-ups and fly balls are not being directed anywhere in particular. The flags all but laying up against the poles out there in left center field. Count will remain at 2-2. Base hit here, and we'll have a tie ball game in the fourth. Komatsu with that bell tie set and loves to wait. 2-2. Got him with a heater. He's got 3 strikeouts in the 5 batters that he has faced and protects the lead. Japan up 2-1. Both of these teams are headed to Los Angeles. So are we. The World Baseball Classic semifinals finals Saturday 9 Eastern. The loser of this game will take on the Pool 2 winner, Venezuela. Then on Sunday, the winner of this game faces Team USA at 8 Eastern. That will set up Monday night's championship game that will start at 9 Eastern. Check your local listings. The World Baseball Classic. Baseball spoken here. With Jose Mota, I'm Gary Thorne, and we go to the 5th inning. A 2-1 lead for Japan. And the pitch is taken down low for a ball. Nakamura, the number 2 hitter, has flied out and struck out. Uchikawa has delivered a home run. Kataoka an RBI single. The 2 runs for Japan. South Korea, their run came in the first on an RBI double by Hyun-Soo Kim.
I like how Nakajima loads up on its swing, just lets it fly, but the first move for him is so clutch, and bringing those hands back to be settled to unload and trigger.
He doesn't get cheated. There's an eephus pitch. Another one of those off-speed breaking balls just kind of dropped in at a 65-mile-an-hour pitch.
Great push off and a very nice finish. But he accentuates that back leg so well.
1-2. Nakajima will take it. Strike 3 called. You got to tag the runner. He's not going to go to first, so an easy tag.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you want to fool the hitter with the off speed. Even your catcher can get fooled sometimes because he put a little more extra speed-wise on this last breaking pitch. This guy's got to be tough to catch, man. I mean, watch. There's not the eephus. Handcuffed.
Handcuffed, yeah. One thing you don't want to do with a pitcher like this is reach out for the ball. You don't want to do it with anybody, but especially someone who throws pitches with a differential he does, that kind of breaking ball. You reach out with the catcher's glove. One, if it comes through, it's going to bounce off the glove somewhere, or the hitter is going to swing and you're going to get whacked on the hand. Aoki batting .360 in the Classic. He is 0 for 2 in this ball game. He has flied out twice, one away here in the 5th. 2 strikeouts for Lee.
Aoki is the opposite of what they tell you to do with your hands and with your knuckles when you're hitting. We'll take another look as he hits.
There's that breaking ball. It is tough to generate any distance on it. Lee's got it. 2 down.
Lee is all about contrast, and he has shown us now the fastball, which he can run in and out, a slow curveball, and a harder curveball. Try catching it, as you mentioned. Don't extend your arm, and also, well, try hitting it.
Yeah, exactly. With Kenji Jojima coming up, he has singled and flied out and has had a hot bat here in the World Baseball Classic. A little meeting's going to take place on the mound, and they're going to make the change. So with 2 away and nobody on here in the 5th inning, Lee, a good job. Walked 1, struck out 2. 2-1 Japan. '26-year-old right-hander Seung-Won Oh comes on, has faced Japan 2 innings worth, March 7th. He comes on with 2 down and nobody on. He led the league in saves for the 3rd consecutive season in South Korea this past year. He had 39 and a 1.40 ERA. Jojima will face him. Pitch is taken up high for a ball.
I watched him throw a bullpen the other day on the sidelines, and watch how he dips his upper body to get drive towards home plate.
Kenji Jojima in the air to right field. And that will retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning. Both of these teams are relying on their bullpens to get it done. Japan leading it 2-1. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the World Baseball Classic Inc. may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. For my partner, this is his favorite food here in San Diego at the ballpark.
This time I made sure I bought it before the 7th inning. Couple of bags.
That's kettle corn.
Got one for you.
Kettle corn is corn with a lot of sugar in it. And a strike taken on the inside corner. It is addictive.
And?
Addictive.
Oh, yes, it is.
It is so good.
That's why I didn't want to open my bag now in the first inning, because
it'd be gone.
We've gone through 3 bags.
Choi fouls that one back. Jung Choi hit into a fielder's choice his first time up.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Let me correct myself. It was Jae Woo Lee who came on and recorded that final out in the last half inning. Jae Woo Lee out of the bullpen. 0-2 delivery. And a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Tag put on, and that's a strikeout. 0 for 2 for Jung Choi in the ball game.
I don't know that we have seen more consistent pitching than between these 2 squads. I mean, we didn't see it from Cuba, we didn't see it from Mexico, but it's been like more quality pitches down in the dirt, great blocking, and sequence of pitches so consistent between the Korean and Japanese has been really delightful to watch.
Great job out of the bullpen. Komatsu now has 4 strikeouts and 1 walk. He has struck out the last 2 batters faced. Kyung-Woo Jung has had a single and he has struck out. Scored the lone South Korean run in the first inning on the RBI double by Kim. 0-1 pitch to him. Another off-speed breaking ball. That's in there. 0-2. They're listening to you.
And that's what he does to the little guys. Huh? And little guys are instructed to take the big knob in the bottom, so the feeling is of balance and of choking up on the bat.
Now if you can just get a pitch you can actually time. 0-2 count with 1 away. That just misses outside. Talking about their pitching coming into this ball game, Japan's team ERA was 1.06 and South Korea's 2.88. Japan second, South Korea fourth among all 16 teams in the World Baseball Classic. But among those who have gone on, they have the best ERA numbers. That one sliced into right field. That's why he was playing into the lights. Ichiro had some trouble with that one, but stayed on it. 2 down.
He's very used to these big league lights and the different configurations you got to battle through, including here in San Diego, that column that stakes out.
Catch it or get hurt. He caught it.
Usually the good ones do.
Yes. Somehow that happens. This is going to be the first at bat for Jung-Woo Lee, who came on as a pinch runner after Young-Kyo Lee had been hurt. He was hit by a pitch back of the head, 3rd inning, and came out of the ball game. Left under his own power though, but had to come out of the game. So Lee gets his first at bat in this game. He's 3 for 16 in the Classic with 2 down, nobody on. Komatsu with the 1-0. 1-1.
All the success so far for Korea, it is without one of the most popular players ever, Sung-Yup Lee. who hit 5 home runs here in the 2006 World Baseball Classic and plays in Japan professionally and did not want to risk. He's going into free agency and did not want to risk playing in this 2009 version.
1-1 delivery fouled off. 1-2. South Korea's found plenty of others in their arsenal to get the job done. As we said, they're 5-1 in this World Baseball Classic. They've had great success with an 11-2 record. You combine their marks in the 06 Classic and in this one. They've only lost 2 ball games. 1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 away. Kalatsu got him with a breaking ball off speed. 5 strikeouts out of the bullpen for the reliever for Japan, and he's gotten most of them with that pitch. It remains a 2-1 Japan lead. A lot of celebrating and a good ball game again with Japan 2-1. Here's the lineup. World Baseball Classic moving on to LA. Semifinals final Saturday 9 o'clock. Loser of this game takes on Venezuela, the other pool winner. Sunday, winner of this game faces USA at 8 Eastern. Monday night, championship game 9 Eastern. Check your local listings. The World Baseball Classic. Baseball spoken here. We will see you in LA.
Starting for the U.S., Jake Peavy, who had a very stern message today to his counterpart big leaguers, saying, "I just cannot understand. It gets me out of my routine mentality." That's what he's hearing for a lot of players in spring training. And he says, "It is an honor to play for your country." Coolest thing he's ever experienced on a baseball diamond. And he says it ranks higher than his Cy Young, 2 division titles, in starting an All-Star game. That's Mr. Peavy delivering the message to a lot of the players, saying that sometimes this tournament gets in the way of their routine.
Amazing. Really challenging other players in the future to come play in the Classic. Good ball game and far from over. Uchikawa will lead it off. We're in the 6th inning. Home run first of the Classic came in the 2nd inning. Then he was denied a base hit and an RBI in the 3rd inning on a tremendous play at second base by Gunwoo Jung. And that play still looms as one that may be a very decisive play in this ball game. Uchikawa, the 0-1 delivery to him. Down to 3rd. Fair ball. Lee's throw. Nice pick at first base to get the out. Duck-Yu Kim at first base helping out right there.
Big man can also pick it. A long throw for Bumho Lee to Tae-Kyun Kim. His nose this time was much closer to the ball than the previous play, but he couldn't pick up the throw from his shortstop, Choi.
Good help from the D, and 1 down. Kami'i goes after a fastball up high. Murata, who was hitting in the spot earlier. A couple of singles. Kami'i came on to run in the 4th inning and stole a base, and now he's going to get a base hit. Ichiro will get it back in, and Japan puts a runner on here in the 6th with 1 down. Their 7th hit of the ball game.
And again, there's an excellent opportunity to get something going as his teammates cheer him on. Swinton has never missed around here, especially with Japan. There are guys on that bench that are just clapping every single play. They're not playing. And you see guys sometimes just playing catch with the outfielders, receiving the outfielders when they come back from playing the field. Just like the fans, they're really into it.
Kanori Iwamura Shows bunt, takes it away. Iwamura against South Korea's had a couple of hits and 10 at bats. In this, the fourth game these two teams have played in this World Baseball Classic. Overall, 5 for 19. Pretty good lead over there at first. Kamii can run.
I'll go ahead and run right now. I like my chances, Gary, with Iwamura at the plate. The righty on the mound has not been tested with his moves. You have a very good base runner at first base. Try to find the extra run in the hole somewhere.
Kamii is certainly challenging. He doesn't go, faked it. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
I wonder if he had a green light and decided, I didn't get it. Let me get back. And that's a smart move, too.
Took a couple of steps, had a pretty good jump over there, and then just decided he didn't want to go. 1-1, 1 down. Not going here either. Fastball will miss down low, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
And as anybody preaches a hit and run count, this is it. 2-1. You're forcing the pitcher to not fall behind 3-1. You've seen 3 pitches already.
Two-one, runner not going, off-speed pitch, center field. Started back. Lee comes in to put it away. Iwamura is retired. 2 down in the 6th. Ja-Woo Lee with a chance to get out of this with that runner on at first base. Avi is struck out and grounded out. You got to believe if you're going to run, might as well take off right here. There he goes. Outside, good pitch to throw on, and got him at second base. Kang with a great throw right on the money. And Kamii is taken out. No runs, 1 hit, only 3 faced in the inning. Japan 2, South Korea 1.
It's 2-1. Japan moving on to the bottom of the 6th inning. Low scoring game, but certainly a lot of action, starting with the gloves. Around the horn, this double play by Japan. And the short swing. Yagami says, see you, out of here. Putting them on the board. And the danger of taking one in the head here. Lefty against lefty.
That was bad. Took him out of the ball game. As Young Kyu Lee had to leave the game after being hit the back of the head, but was able to get up and walk out. And thank goodness for that. Kim leads it off here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And that is in there for a strike. Young-Soo Kim has doubled in a run and is hit into a fielder's choice. Bottom half of the 6th inning. 7 for 20. 350 average in the Classic, and that's there. Young-Soo Kim won a batting title last year, hitting .357. Back in his home league. Takes that one to right field. Hit that one pretty good back near the warning track, and a running catch made Ichiro there.
So this ballpark is just paradise for the fielders because the ball stays in the air for so long. The dimensions are a little awkward down the corners, but when you can run, you're going to track a lot of those down.
Timed perfectly. And with that out, we're going to get a pitching change here. Doing some pretty good leather work after we got through the first inning where things were a little rough. And the bullpens are going to be active the rest of this ball game. Japan leading it 2-1. A 20-year-old right-hander. Tanaka out of the bullpen to do the pitching. One down and nobody on. Kim up and will go after the first pitch and fouls it away. He has struck out and walked in the game. So the managers do what we've seen throughout this World Baseball Classic with their pitchers, and that's try and match up against hitters. Everybody has tried to do that, none more so than the managers for Japan and South Korea. Once they get their starter out of there, they're not hesitant to go to the bullpen. 0-1 delivery on the way. That misses. Masahiro Tanaka. 2 games, 2/3 of an inning, 1 strikeout, nothing offered. 1-1. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. He was named the Pacific League Rookie of the Year in 07. In 08 went 9-7, a starting pitcher. 159 strikeouts and 172 innings for him. Masahiro Tanaka, one of the young pitching stars in Japan. 1-ball, 2-strike count. Quick work of that.
Well, you throw mid-90s and then you do this with a split finger with movement. Almost not fair. This one, you think you had it all timed up on that plane, the swing level that you were talking about, Mr. Ted Williams and so forth. The ball drops.
Ball drops. You're out of luck. 2 down, nobody on. Daho Lee has drawn a walk and is hit into a double play. 2-1 lead for Japan here in the 6th inning. Foul back.
Wasn't there a time in which every breaking ball was called a drop?
Drop ball.
Yeah, drop ball.
Drop ball. Pitches get renamed every 20, 30 years or so, it seems.
Cut fastball.
Cut fastballs gets a different name. The curve ball, the drop pitch used to be called the 12 to 6 curve as opposed to the 3/4 delivery. Becomes part of the rhetoric of baseball. 0-1 count on Lee. Foul it off.
We can also add the slurve, that combination curveball 12-6, but also a slider breaking down from the 2 o'clock.
Don't hear the screwball term used very often, but in this baseball classic, we've seen a number of pitchers who throw a pitch that breaks the opposite way to the hitter at the plate, goes down and away, the turnover pitch. And the screwball's not used anymore, but that's what it is. 0-2 count on Lee. He'll foul it back.
Well, we saw during this round one of the best ever with that pitch, Fernando Valenzuela, Team Mexico's bench coach. What a screwball he had.
Because it's used so seldom, it's a very effective pitch because hitters don't get to see it very often.
I remember as a youngster, Mike Marshall, and that screwball he had for the Dodgers and for the Expos. He ended up getting really hurt.
Really hurt. Little discussion here. 0-2 count, 2 down. Pitchers dominating here in this game. Talatsu 2 2/3 innings, a walk and 5 strikeouts. Didn't give up anything. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Taken down the line in right field. That one will be a foul ball. Busy night for Ichiro.
We have mid-90s, and then you have this type of grip. We're talking about how the names have changed and the pitches have evolved. He knows what's coming. Look at the spin on that one. Now this one, he started out over the plate and it moved in a little more. The one where he struck out Kim, he started in and it moved off the plate.
Here's the 0-2 delivery. And a breaking ball. Did he go after it? Yes, he did. Gets the strikeout. The tag put on. So Tanaka comes on and K's the two batters that he faces. Another 1-2-3 inning. Here's one. You make the call. Did he go around? Paul Hyam, the umpire down at first base, had this kind of a look. Said he made an offering, and yes, he did. 2-1, Japan on top. And we go to the 7th inning. Abe will lead it off for Japan. They've got the 2-1 lead. Both runs came in the second, and one of those runs was unearned. And it is the difference in the ball game right now. Uchikawa had the home run and the RBI single by Kataoka. 2-7-1 for Japan. 1-3-2 for Korea. Japan has left 5. Korea has left 4 on base. Final game, second round of the 2009 World Baseball Classic. Coming away from San Diego. Both of these teams heading to Los Angeles. One is the winner of this pool and one is the runner up. Big cut over the top of it. 1-2.
Don't make a mistake against Abe. There's one point at which he had 16 home runs in 1 month.
Lee's delivery to him, and that's going to be a base hit. Lee will get it back in. Abe is on with a single to lead off the 7th inning. Kataoka coming up.
Top of the order, 0 for 9, but look in the middle of the order. They have delivered 4 hits and 8 at bats. Everybody down from 4 down has got a base hit. So far, well distributed. 8 base hits total.
Really fine pitching here in this ball game. Leadoff batter on for Japan. See if they can take advantage of it. Only the second time tonight they've had the leadoff man on. Looking bunt in the infield. Kataoka has singled home a run. That was in the second. And walked and stole a base in the 4th. Now Lee will move in at 3rd. Denho Lee. The bunt goes first base side. Couldn't get it down. This late in a close ball game, you're trying to manufacture runs now rather than going for big innings.
Anytime you have to reach out for a bunt, it tells me that you are not covering the home area enough, home plate enough. And he bunts from a crossed over step.
Only one sacrifice for Japan coming into this game. Kataoka pops it up, foul. You would expect a team like Japan that is so fundamentally disciplined that bunting would be a part of their game that virtually everybody in the lineup would be able to do well.
You can tell he has the idea of catching the ball and not jabbing at it, but his plate coverage is what I'm questioning right now. His feet are crossed to begin with. And I don't know that he's going to get a sign here 0-2. And that is now allowing him to clear everything he needs to see the ball better.
Katahara squares, pulls it back down to first and foul. They were not playing bunt in the infield as they backed up at first and third.
Just imagine how many times I've seen this move pulled. Oh, we've seen this before. You're not going to bunt. That's why you stay back.
At this point, give yourself a better chance and just stay in the hit mode. Runner off first base with nobody out. 0-2. Right off the top of the dugout and skims into the seats.
Well, he didn't have the bunt. He's got that foul ball down.
Not getting around on these pitches from Lee is Kataoka. Good hitter who's batting in the number 9 spot. He's been up in the lineup for many of the games he's played in here in the World Classic, but down in the 9 hole for this one. Short lead at first. The 0-2 delivery outside. No need to throw. No lead there. 1 ball 2 strike count.
the one reason why he is fouling so many pitches off to the right side. If you look at where Kataoka stands, he is way up on the box, so a good fastball is going to beat him. Look at all the room behind his right foot.
1-2 count. Hands separated on the bat, then slides them together. Kataoka is a leadoff batter and considered to be one of the best leadoff hitters in the Japanese leagues. So in a game like this, you really are able to have two. You got Ichiro at the top of the order in that spot, and Kataoka hitting ninth, but it's like having two leadoff men in the game.
His manager said the same thing first day in. He says, I have two guys I can pick for, but my number one is the most respected one in the American League. His name is Ichiro Suzuki.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Lee's delivery. Kataoka takes it inside. Nice stop made. Kang had to go inside to block that one. Little knee walking and got it. And a 2 ball, 2 strike count.
They do such a good job at centering the ball. The infielders, the outfielders, and of course the catchers make every attempt to do so.
Abbey down at first base. Still a short lead. Really a wasted throw to first base on that one. He didn't throw it very hard.
And he's got the catcher out there, so I don't think there's much of an intention here to run.
Speedy batter at the plate, trying to double him up would be hard. 2-2 delivery on the way, breaking ball. So after getting ahead on the count on those failed bunt attempts, the count now goes to 3-2 with Ichiro waiting. Three-two count. Kataoka not going to have to go after that one up high, and he draws the walk. Really extended that at bat as Lee loses him. Only the second walk surrendered by the South Korean pitchers in the ballgame. Kim in the bullpen. Kwang Young Kim is ready if needed, and maybe. A lot of discussions going on here in the dugout and on the field. Do you play for a bunt with Ichiro up? We've seen him square around here in this classic to try and move runners up. Runners on first and second, nobody out. 7th inning, 2-1 Japan leading. And Ichiro 0 for 3. Third baseman Gun-Ho Lee playing at that 45-degree angle.
I'm playing for the bunt right now.
Ichiro does not show bunt, takes it up high for a ball.
Very astute hitter. Also, Ichiro finds holes because he's able to read what the defense is trying to do. So corners in, he figures if I can get a fastball from Lee, let me try to take advantage of it.
1-0 count. Even with a bag at third is Lee. Shows bunt and fouls it straight back on a fastball.
Gary, that's what makes guys like Ichiro so tough to defend. In situations like this, you are trained to prepare yourself as an infielder to say, follow what you would do as a hitter. For example, contact hitter, you would bunt. Well, you play it that way. But Ichiro is so dynamic, he can beat you with a line drive, slap it through you, but he can also beat you with a bunt.
Yep. He's 4 for 17 against South Korea in this World Baseball Classic. This time he hits away center field. Lee, runners halfway, will have to go back. 0 for 4 for Ichiro in the game. 1 out.
You know what happens in at bats like this? You go back thinking, I needed to get the bunt down. It would have been a freebie if it was a sacrifice. And I'm talking about now from a selfish standpoint. And it does happen.
A non-productive at bat, as it's called in baseball, because nothing was gained by it, and an out was recorded. Nakajima now with runners at first and second. He's gone 0 for 3. What Jose was talking about continues at the top of the order. Ichiro, Nakajima, Aoki. Not gotten on base. Fooled on that pitch. And a strike. Runners off first and second base. Nakajima with a 4 for 13 in the Classic. Abe the lead runner. Tadaoka at first. 0-1 delivery on the way. That is taken outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Multiple signs with that runner on at second base. 1-1 delivery. Towards short. Choi up. There's one. Young's throw. 1 hop. And got him. Not one of the stronger throws that you'll see coming from second base, but it worked. First 2 on, and they do not score. 7th inning stretch time. Japan's got the 2-1 lead. Young-Ho Lee, Pak-Kun Lee are due up. South Korea down by just 1.
As we move on to the bottom of the 7th inning, 2-1 Japan, and we continue to see great plays all throughout the second round. Especially, I mentioned centering the ball. Well, you do it behind the plate and the shortstop. Center line, find the ball, then find the other targets. Center the ball, 1 hopper, center the ball. My goodness, I love those center lines.
Beautiful. Makes plays a lot easier. They got it done, and it remains a 2-1 game. The winner of this is the winner of this pool, and will go on to face the United States on Sunday. The loser of this game will face Venezuela on Saturday, with the final coming up Monday in LA. Young-Ho Lee has struck out and grounded out. He is 4 for 14 in the Classic. Tanaka will get your attention. The young 20-year-old with 2 strikeouts of the 2 batters faced in the 6th inning.
Yeah, he'll get your attention because he's young too. He throws so hard, and sometimes he overthrows.
He can fire. 1-0 delivery. If that delivery and windup looks a little familiar, you might think Dice K. He does. His hero was Dice K. He's wearing number 15 because Dice K has the number that he wears in his own league, which is 18, which is Dice K's number. 2-0 delivery. Take it in the air to center field. That ball hit hard. Going back. Aoki looking, and goodbye. Home run. What a shot. 400 feet away to dead center field. The Young-Ho Lee has tied this game up at 2. You have to drive the ball out of this yard to get it through this heavy air. That's exactly what he did.
You know, he represents the integrity and the passion they play with. And if I have to pick, just by watching the actions before the game, during the game, leadership skills, he is my team captain. And a team captain that can deliver like this here at Petco Park, that's a moonshot.
Boy, he hit that. He had not had a hit against Japan in 9 at-bats before that home run, despite the fact he's had a very good Classic. They've played 4 games against them. That's his first, and it ties up the game. Foul back. Big shot by Byung-Ho Lee. And a whole new ball game here in the bottom half of the 7th inning on the 4th hit for South Korea. Breaking ball away. Chuck Kwon Lee has had a single, 1 for 2 in a game.
All of a sudden, the Korean crowd feels some momentum coming.
Looking for a comeback win. And the opportunity to go on and play the U.S. on Sunday. They've had those blue thundersticks going throughout this second round here in San Diego, and the orange ones for Japan. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tanaka throws hard, but if he can connect, he supplies you as a hitter with some power. 1-2 delivery, a slider down low. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Lee. The largest Korean population in the United States is right here in Southern California, about 250,000. 2-2 delivery. That is a fair ball, long throw. Katahara off the mark and safe. Couldn't put the tag on, and the ball was dropped. Uchikawa had to come off the bag and literally go behind the runner. Tried to tag him and dropped it anyway, even though he never got him.
To me, this should go as a base hit. It's not a routine play. He's close to the line. He delivers. Scores a knock here. You know what? After a second look, the throw was too wide.
Throw would have had him, so
yes.
They call it an error. Error on the throw. Kataoka at third base. Now runner on. Still nobody out. Everybody looking at each other's dugout to see what's going on here, as Japan doesn't want to make a pitching change till they know what South Korea is going to do at the plate. And Shin-Soo Choo, their lone major league representative from the Cleveland Indians, has now been announced. And now we'll see if Japan wants to make the move here and get Tanaka out of the ballgame. And they do. These two teams, it is a fierce rivalry, and they play some great baseball. Tied at 2. This rivalry continues on in another outstanding ball game. It is tied at 2-2.
Well, back in Tokyo with Murata. Sending a message. Jojima started hot, continues hot. Lee playing some good center field for Korea. And then moving on to San Diego, Yu Darvish unable to hold the bats as they slapped around a good first inning against him. And detail after detail, this has been closely followed, including the flag.
Planting of the flag by South Korea, something Japan had done to them before. And now we'll get the left-hander. Yamaguchi, the 25-year-old left-hander, out of the bullpen. 4th game he's appeared in, worked an inning and a third with 1 walk. A runner on at first base, tie game 2-2, 7th inning. Min-Ho Kang, the catcher, and the throw over. Kang has struck out twice, is being pinch hit for by Chu, who stays on to face the lefty. Shin-Soo Choo of the Indians, 1 for 9 in the Classic. Shatters the bat. Shortstop Nakajima got the relay, and they turn 2. Nakajima and Iwamura on a tough play while the barrel of the bat was flying behind the mound.
This is impressive. There's so many moving parts and flying parts all over the place. Wood, cowhide, whatever. Find the cowhide and turn two just like this. Brilliant concentration all the way around.
We talked about how they play the way they practice, Jose. That is a play that they work on before the game. That short little flip. And it pays off here. Another pitching change. Bases empty. 2 down, 2-2. It would be very hard to describe those outfits, starting with the Mickey Mouse hats with particular bows, Hawaiian skirts. So I'll just stop right there. Here's the in-game box score.
It's called a combination of cultures. Well, a combination is what you're looking for the guys on the bat. But so far, a couple of home runs has the game pretty close. And we'll see how this ends, including how do you manage your bullpen from now on, knowing that you're going to need some guys in a couple of days.
Yep. 2 down, bases are empty, and a strike taken. Hideki Wakui has come on to do the pitching. Kai-Yuk Park pinch hitting, and Park will take it down low. Two games so far, and in 3 innings, walked 2, struck out 1. Gets the strike on the outside corner to Park. Both teams going deep, not only in the bullpen, but also off the bench.
Utilizing everything they can to get an advantage here later in the ball game.
Park has 3 hits and 19 at bats in the Classic. 1-2 delivery to him, and he went around on that, and he's gone. So that'll do it here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. But the big blow, Young-Ho Lee, who led the inning off, delivered his 3rd home run of the World Baseball Classic. That swing ties the game at 2. One more run may be enough to get this one done. It is a 2-2 ball game. We go to the 8th inning. Kyung-Ong Park will come on to do the catching now. So Park behind the plate for South Korea, and Sung Wong Oh will be coming on to do the pitching. Oh, we were talking about earlier, and I thought he had entered the game and had not. This is the close artist, and right now he can go a couple of innings if needed in this close ball game. 2-2, Japan up, 8th inning. Aoki's gone 0 for 3, batting 3rd in the lineup, and will foul it off for a strike.
Numbers on Swang 1-0. Only 1 game so far, 1 inning. And he's so accustomed to 1 strikeout. He's got superb stuff to shut the door. And as you were mentioning, it is very important that he is economical, because he might be needed here for a couple of innings.
He is 26 years old. 3 years in a row has led the league in saves. Showed bunt, beautiful drag bunt. Nobody's going to get the first to cover. That is a base hit. Aoki may hit 3rd, but he's got more speed than most number 3 hitters, as you saw right there, and he's on.
He is tough. Finds a perfect triangle to get the pitcher involved in the play. Anytime you have the pitcher involved, you know you have an advantage. We showed the bunt early. You place the ball first, and you win that race.
Kenji Chojima is due up, and Abe has come out in the on-deck circle with a bat. That's Sonoya Inaba. We assume that's what the discussion is with the home plate umpire, Bill Miller, who signals that he's in. So in the designated hitter role now, Tanaba will come to the plate. He's had 3 hits and 16 at bats, no RBIs. How are you going to play this if you're manager Hara or Japan?
I want this guy right here at the plate, Inaba, to get a pitch he can drive. He's got one of the best swings in my ball club. The reason I'm bringing you in here is for you to hit.
Runner at first. Tanaba gets the advantage of the first baseman having to hold the bag. So a big hole between first and second for the left-handed hitter. Jung-Wook Lee out there in right field is almost out of the ballpark. Very deep. And the pitch is up high for a ball.
Just the threat of the runner at first base, Aoki, is enough for you as a hitter to think, I have to see more fastballs. This at that. I have to sit on the fastball.
Aoki with great speed at first base towards the seats and fouled. You probably don't want him running here, even if he thought he could steal a base, because then you set up the intentional pass to the power hitter at the plate. So all the decisions being made by the managers now. You could have gone the other way here, Jose, if you're Japan, and played this as bring somebody into bunt and just move the runner down.
Even with Jojima at the plate, you could have played hit and run, even the bunt with Jojima. But he's not thinking that right now. He's thinking big fly.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Inaba will take the pitch up high, 2-1.
And not only the the home run thought, but somebody that can use his big gaps. We still haven't seen much of that in this ballpark so far. And you have somebody that can run at first base, big gaps. There's a very good chance you're going to score from first base.
301 average last year in league play with 20 homers and 82 RBIs. 2-1 delivery. Up high again. So high with way up out of the strike zone to Inaba with these pitches. Nobody out. 8th inning, game tied at 2-2. Japan out hitting Korea now 9-4 after the base hit by Aoki, who was on at first base. Chang-Yeon Lim, Ta-Hoon Im in the bullpen. There goes the runner. That's going to be a base hit. Jung-Wook Lee up with it. Runner going to third. Throw will come to second. He got it done. First and third. Nobody out. Don't tell me this game doesn't matter.
Are you kidding me? Watch the delivery here. Watch the swing. And there's so many things you can do for a hitter as a base runner. Find some holes, but also get him some pitches to hit. One of the many things speed and the threat of speed can do for you.
So now first and third, and Japan threatening to get the lead back, and with nobody out makes it very tough on the defense of South Korea. Timeout will be taken. Bullpen is ready, and they want to go there. So will come out of the ball game. Couple of singles off him here in the 8th inning. 2 on, 2-2. All right, let's take a look at the World Baseball Classic heading up to LA. Semifinals, finals beginning on Saturday at 9 Eastern. It'll be the loser of this game taking on the Pool 2 winner, Venezuela. Then on Sunday, the winner of this game faces USA at 8 Eastern. That will set up the Monday Night Championship game beginning at 9:30 Eastern. So check your local listings. The World Baseball Classic, baseball spoke in the air. Just a great matchup. These two teams really give you some wonderful baseball to watch.
And what's promising coming up in LA could be even better.
Yeah, they could meet again. They're going to have a shot at it to be in the championship game. Kwang Young Kim out of the bullpen. This is the 4th game he's worked in. 2 2/3 innings. Touched up a little bit. Here's what we were talking about earlier. Kwang Young Kim was the MVP last year of the postseason. Ogasawara is going to come up to hit against him. Ogasawara coming off the bench, first and third, nobody out. And up high with a fastball. Ogasawara 4 for 21, no home runs and an RBI in the Classic.
These are players that perhaps manager for Japan, Tatsunori Hara, thought could use a day off. But this means this much to this ball club.
All out. Runners off first and third, 1-0 delivery. 1-1. Kwang Young Kim went 16-4 in league play with a 2.39 earned run average. He had 27 starts, 150 strikeouts in 162 innings. More wins than any other pitcher in the league. Ogasawara waiting on a 1-1. Bring it.
He is a lefty that lets it fly. A lot of moving parts. The best one of all is that ball not finding the bat. Wow. There's life.
Looking for the big strikeout to set up a possible double play to get out of the inning. 1-2. Game is tied at 2. We're in the 8th. Japan starting the inning off with a couple of singles. Have runners at first and third. 1-2. That's going to be a base hit and an RBI. Aoki will score the go-ahead run. It is 3-2. And Ogasawara coming off the bench gets the job done.
Good piece of hitting out for. He got tied up with an inside fastball. Any smart hitter will tell you, young pitcher on the mound, I know he's going to try to make the plate bigger by throwing me the slider. And he knows what he just did for his country.
That is hit number 11 for Japan. They are now out hitting South Korea 11-4, but have just a 1-run lead, 3-2. This spot in the lineup productive. Murata went 2 for 2 while he was in there. Kamihi has picked up a single 1 for 1. The defense will play bunt. First and second, nobody out. Kamihi teasing him, squares and takes it down low for a ball.
You're right. When you're playing defense against a batter that almost looks like he's not decided what he wants to do, bunt or hit, it's tough to say I'm going to charge him. I'm going to put the wheel play on where I have everybody moving in and crashing. Or should I hold back, hold my depth in case he does swing the bat away?
Nobody quite sure how they're going to play this. They're still playing bunt in at first and third again. 1-0, pulls it back, takes it up high. Wheels are turning here decision making wise for both of these managers. Kamihi now with a 2-0 count. So lots of options. And the full cut and a big one and fouls it back.
You know, one thing you have to base your decision on letting him hit here, Gary, is you look at the previous hitter to see how effective he was against him, how he plays his fastball, and perhaps just in the side could have say he might be a little tentative again against the lefty. Let me just let him swing away.
Kim still playing bunt in the infield. He does square. They got to go to first. He looked to third, but nobody was there, and they get the out. Third baseman Lee charged in. Kim looked to see if anybody was there. Might have had a play had the third baseman backed up.
And you're right, Gary. And here, what happened is somebody missed a defensive assignment. Third baseman Lee is crashing, so the pitcher, first thing he does is he looks at third base. If it's occupied, it's an out somewhere. But you see the catcher says, hey, you know what? He's supposed to be crashing. You got to the ball because it was not a perfect bunt, so make the right play, get the sure out.
So that moves two into scoring position with only one away. A nice sacrifice for Kamihi. Now Iwamura, who has singled in 3 times to the plate, will get the RBI chance. Infield is in. They've got to try and cut these runs down at the plate if they can. Iwamura will take it for a strike. 0-1, 1 down, 3-2. Japan back on top. Japan had the lead 2-0 after 2. South Korea got a run in the first inning. They had a 1-0 lead for just that half inning, and then tied it up with a home run by Byung-ho Lee in the 7th, and now Japan's gone back on top in the 8th. One away, the 0-1. Up the middle, and that is a base hit. 1 run will score. They will hold the second runner. Ball bobbled. That will allow the second run to score. A single, an RBI, and another error. And a 5-2 lead for Japan.
Well, hit them where there ain't, as it is called. 1 run will score easily, and then again you stop and start because you're always looking for the ball. We saw consecutive plays where they committed errors, the Koreans on the field in the 2nd inning. And this has not been the crisper fielding we have seen from them all the way around in this tournament.
And it is a 5-2 lead. The error charged on Lee in center field is the 3rd error committed by South Korea in this ball game. Already 1 unearned run up there, and there may be another one added here in this inning or more, depending on how the inning plays out here. With a drawn in infield, no chance to cut that bounder off up the middle. Abe at the plate. He will take it up high. Abe has delivered a single and 3 times out.
I wonder when's the last time South Korea had a center fielder make 2 errors in a ball game.
2 in the previous 6 and 3 in this game tonight. 1-1 delivery. Abe will foul it back. 1-2. Runner on at first base now. 3 runs in here in the 8th for Japan. O will be charged with the 2 runs in no part of an inning, having surrendered 2 hits. He did not get either batter to start the inning off, and they have both scored. Kim responsible for the 3rd runner who crossed, who reached on a single. Here's the 1-2 delivery. 2 ball, 2 strike count. So Japan putting the heat on South Korea. Abe waiting on the 2-2. Wales, runner goes, chance for the double play, won't get it. Stolen base. Strikeout. Abe retired, but the stolen base, Aki Iwamura.
Bit of a delayed steal on the breaking ball. Got the catcher napping a little bit, and before you know it, Iwamura was there. Catcher dropped his head, made it easy on the runner.
So a runner in scoring position with 2 down now. Number 9 hitter is due up, and we will get another pitching change. 6th pitcher on for South Korea. South Korea finding it hard to get big outs late in the ball game here in this 8th inning with 3 runs in on 4 singles and a costly error. And Japan has taken a 5-2 lead in this ball game. And South Korea forced to go a little bit deeper into that bullpen as Im comes out in the pitch.
And it doesn't matter which team, Gary. We have seen from Mexico to Cuba to Japan to South Korea utilizing the full roster on the bench and the full roster also in those bullpens.
6th pitcher on. Kim worked 2/3 of an inning, couple of hits, a strikeout. Is responsible for the base runner on at second base, Iwamura, and the number 9 hitter, Kataoka. Kataoka's had an RBI single and has drawn 2 walks. Outstanding job that he's done batting in the number 9 spot for this team. Im delivers to him, and it'll be foul back for a strike.
And you're right. I think it's played right into the manager's plan of having 2 and even 3 leadoff men in this lineup.
Never hurts to have a solid number 9 hitter, somebody that the pitcher just can't figure is going to be an automatic out in the game. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That'll miss down low. And Im takes the count to 1 ball and 1 strike.
There it is. For example, on some other hitters, this would have been already a 0-2 count or a foul ball or ball pull and play, and at bat it's over. Not with this young man Kataoka.
1-1 delivery. Strike in the inside corner. Im has appeared in one other ball game, worked a couple of innings, gave up no runs on 2 hits, couple of walks, and 3 strikeouts. He's got a runner on at second base. Iwamura, 1-2. Kataoka pops that one up, shallow right field. And that will do it in the inning as Lee is there to put it away. But it is a big inning for Japan as they go on top now by a score of 5-2 over South Korea. Tough ball game, and we go to the bottom half of the 8th. A 5-2 lead for Japan. 6 outs for South Korea to work with to try and get back in this, as Venezuela and the United States already in Los Angeles awaiting the outcome of this game to find up the pairings, as the runner-up of this game will play Venezuela on Saturday, the loser of this game, and on Sunday the winner of this game will play the United States. Evan Longoria, if you missed it today, has been named to the U.S. roster to take over for Chipper Jones. And here is Takahiro Mahara. Very effective outings in 3 games here in the Classic. He's worked 3 innings. No runs, 3 hits, no walks, no strikeouts. Now South Korea's got to find not only runs but some base runners to go with it. Ogasawara's stayed in the ballgame after pinch hitting at first base. And there's one of those, a base hit. Jung Woo Jung delivers what they needed to start the bottom of the 8th. A single. He's 2 for 4 in the ballgame.
Solid approach at the plate, needing some base runners. No big swings. Just what they do so well. They can play station to station. Little man choking up, a big knob. He really got on top of that with that top hand.
Jung-Woo Lee, a strikeout victim, the only time up. Kataoka's even with the bag at third. Infield double play depth, maybe even closer. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Infield's drawn in fairly close. Three hits, 17 at bats for Lee. Runner off first. That is outside for a ball. 1-1.
Part of the reason infielders are playing in more now. is because for any possibility of a double play, the grass plays very slow. During batting practice, you got to really hit the ball hard just to get it through the infield.
Jungwook Lee 1-1. That is outside 2-1. A cardinal sin if a walk is issued at this point of the ball game by anyone on the mound for Japan. That would put the potential tying run to the plate. Jungwook Lee, 301 hitter in his country's league play last year. Swings through a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-2.
This will get your attention. 96 with some tailing action at the very end. Good four-seam fastball.
South Korea's, this is the inning they want to produce here. They've got the top of the order with the leadoff man Young on at first base, so they've got the power coming up. Step off. You want to make sure your foot's off the rubber when you make that little fake move to first base, or you're going to have a balk.
Second Japanese pitcher we've seen do that here tonight, so obviously it's something they train on, they work on.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Runner goes. Lee swings through. Here's the throw. Hits the runner. He'll take third base. Jung will stop there. It'll be a stolen base on an error charge. The tough one always to the catcher when it hits the runner.
Playing conservative baseball down by 3? Absolutely not. Create opportunities if they are there. Not a high leg kick. A fastball situation. Good contact hitter at the plate. And a late coverage by your shortstop.
Second stolen base South Korea's had in the ball game.
So you get rid of the shortstop, should be in front of that runner. Anytime you're late, you're going to create opportunities for that ball to find center field. You need to be in front of this runner.
There is one out on the strikeout. Now Young-Soo Kim, who's had a double at RBI, 1 for 3 in the ball game. His job, get that runner in from third. Infield will stay back. They're not going to. They'd rather get the out here and surrender the run on a ground ball than chance creating a bigger inning by giving this hitter a chance to drive a ball through the drawn-in infield. Kim is hitting .333 in the Classic with 3 RBIs. Jung off third. That will miss down low. You got the cleanup batter waiting. Tak Kyung Kim, and that's why this conference is going to go on. It's fallen behind 2-0.
It becomes an issue of, okay, how do you feel? Do you feel confident in finishing this hitter? Can you come back from a 2-0 count? And here, not so much location, but stuff-wise. Pitching coach can go out there, give his opinion, look in the on-deck circle. You have a righty behind you. So you pick your spot here. As a veteran pitcher, usually you'll get the advantage and the respect to at least state your opinion until the manager says, no, I want 4.
Exactly. Yeah. 2-0 count. See if he comes at him on this pitch. He did. Fouled it back. 2-ball, 1-strike count on Kim.
That's what I want to see. I mean, they're still up by 3 runs. No need to toy around more with the strike zone and start missing and putting people aboard. If you're going to go down this late in the game, go after the hitter.
Lahara is a closer. He led the Pacific League with 38 saves back in '07. Last year had 11 saves in 21 games. 2-1 delivery. Got the outside corner. Tough pitch. 2-2.
Sitting dead red, fastball in. He turns it over with a changeup.
Japan leading at 5-2. Out hitting South Korea 12-6. Runner off third base and the 2-2 coming. These two teams may think they're going to get tired of playing one another, this being the fourth time they've met in this '09 World Classic, but once they get on the field, they forget all about that.
Are you ready for more?
Yeah.
Are you ready for more?
They are. 2-2 on Kim. Runner goes back to third. Nice play. Mahara really helps his own cause. 2 down.
And Japan continues to help their own cause by keeping a dangerous hitter in Kim down. He doubled his first at bat and he's been shut down after that. That's a big time play.
That keeps the potential tying run from coming to the plate, and you really don't want that with this bat up there. Tak-Young Kim has struck out twice and walked in this game, but he's got a .381 average in this Classic with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. Runner at third, but now there are 2 away. And the fastball inside, ball 1.
Gary, in batting practice, he was hitting balls like he was in Coors Field. Second deck, left field pavilion, like nothing. I thought it was back in Mexico City. That's a long shot here in Petco Park.
He can drive it. He's a long ball danger when he's up there. 1-0 delivery to him. Got the strike. O'Hara coming in with a slider right there. See his numbers. He loves playing in the World Baseball Classic, obviously, in 10 games with that .363 average. One delivery. Tough pitch right there.
Well, you can throw that in fastball counts. You have an advantage. That looked like a screwball, didn't it?
That's one of those pitches we were talking about earlier. See how it moves?
It's turned over.
Turned it over. Goes the opposite way from what you would expect the pitch to do. 1 ball, 2 strike count. In the dirt. Abe with a fine stop. South Korea cannot get this run in after getting the leadoff man on. That all but shuts the door in this ball game. If they get him home, the inning would stay alive and they'd be right back in it with a potential tying run to the plate. So this is a very big at bat. Mahara with a 2-2. Grounded towards second base. Iwamura gobbles it up, and there's a big out. Leadoff man on. They could not convert. No runs, 1 hit, an error. Runner left on at third base. We go to the 9th. Japan leading at 5-2, and Ichiro will be at the plate. We go to the 9th inning, and Japan 3 outs away from winning this pool play and moving on to Los Angeles to play the U.S. on Sunday. That's what the winner will do from this game. The loser will face Venezuela on Saturday. And the pitch is up high for a ball as Ichiro will lead it off. Ichiro's had an 0 for 4 in this game. He's now 6 for 32, a 188 average in the Classic. Him on the mound. Gets a strike into Ichiro. Ichiro in the first Classic in 06 had a very big time .364 average. He went 12 for 33. Had a home run, 5 RBIs, fouls that one off. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Every hitter has to go through an adjustment timing wise. It's not about better pitching, but I think his timing is still not there, not quite there. let's not forget, it's still March, spring training time, and he's trying to find that right spot.
Got a triple in the 9th inning of the game against Cuba, and is going to pump that one for a base hit into the gap. Ichiro will have a chance at 2. He's on his way and will go in with a stand-up double as Lee gets it back in.
How big is he for this ball club? Taking breaking ball, that's what I talk about, timing and timing at front foot and landing. And even as he runs, he's able to find that bat through the strike zone. He's incredible.
35 years old now, and continues to put up big numbers year after year, both in Japan and in the United States in the majors. Nakajima now with the runner at second base, playing bunt, shows bunt. They move in at first and third. Play's going to have to be at first, and a tough one. That ball had some English on it. Takyu Kim, the first baseman, had to wait for that to stop spinning. Good sacrifice. Nakajima moves Ichiro over to third with one away.
He held his bat up in the strike zone. Wait for that spin to stop. It's the best thing you can do here defending this. If you're too aggressive on it, you might lose a grip and not even get one.
9th inning, 1 down. Japan with a chance to add a run. Infield started in. Now they're going to back up. Aoki, the number 3 hitter, fouls that one over the screen.
Oh, those mind games, Gary. Start in, move back, halfway here. Sometimes they've had the shortstop halfway, the second baseman playing back.
Don't you have to play in and cut this run off?
You have to. You cannot afford to go back more.
Aoki with a single and a run scored, 1 for 4 in the ball game. Fastball will be taken up high. The infield is not moving in. They're even with a bag at third and first and back at second and short. Aoki's had 6 RBIs, hitting .370 in the Classic. 1-1 delivery to him outside, 2-1. Kim came on in the last inning to finish it up. Now working here in the 9th. Japan's got 13 hits in the ball game. 5 runs on 13 hits. Out hitting South Korea 13-5. Aoki, doesn't matter where you play that. Base hit, RBI. His 7th run batted into the Classic. Ichiro scores, and it is a 6-2 Japan lead.
It is so much easier when Ichiro gets on base. To really disrupt the timing of the defense, we already saw confusion by them playing back. We saw the pitcher with Ichiro at third base throwing from the windup.
So Ichiro crosses for the first time in the ball game with Japan's 6th run. Runner on at first, only 1 away. Inaba, who's now the DH, taking over for Jojima, and he singled in the 8th inning. Japan got this ball game opened up in the 8th when they got 3 runs. The first 3 hitters got on. Aoki, Inaba came on as a pinch hitter. Nagasawara came off the bench and delivered a single, so they got some real good bench work in the 8th. And scored 3 runs. 1-0 delivery. That is a strike.
It doesn't matter if you are a 3-year veteran, 5-year veteran in the league. Inaba is a 14-year veteran, and he expressed early in this tournament how big this is for him.
.291 lifetime hitter over those 14 years. Up high, 2 ball, 1 strike count.
I call him that David Justice approach. The leg kick, sweet swing, cuts through the zone real quick. You should see him hitting in a batting tee. It's like a whip.
Infield looking for the ground ball for 2. Off the glove. That is a fair ball. Long run for Lee to get it. Aoki makes the turn. Going to second with a throw. Not in time. It's a double. The Nava's 2 at-bats have produced a double and a single. Aoki goes to third base. Dakyu Kim almost caught this.
Great effort by the big man at first base. It was a fake steal. So the runner, Aoki had to go back, then stop, and then Inaba is reading him to see if he'll continue to go to second.
2 more in scoring position. 15 hits on the board for Japan. Ogasawara with the RBI chance. Infield stays back, and he'll foul it off. So Im finding no luck here in the 9th inning, the only out on a sacrifice. And Japan on the verge of equaling the 4 games played between these 2 teams to a 2-2 mark, as Japan won 14-2 and then lost to South Korea 1-0 and 4-1. They've got the lead in this game, though, 6-2. Ogasawara, the 1-1. So it's the Orange Thundersticks with the lead in this ball game. Here's the 2-1. Got that one. Chance for 2. Throw to third. Pulled him off the bag. But they call him out. Stayed on the bag long enough, so it is a double play. Kim got the liner, looked over to third base, saw his best chance was going to be there, and had his foot on the bag as he came off. But another run at it. Bottom of the 9th. Japan up 6-2. So what had been a tight ball game gets opened up by Japan. Japan in the 8th and 9th inning scores 4 runs on 7 hits in those 2 innings. And they now have the 6-2 lead. Mahara will come out of the ball game. Did a great job in relief, as Mahara gave up just 1 single in the inning and a third that he worked.
And it was the bullpen that actually turned the momentum over towards the Japanese hitters. And sometimes you just need that little push from the guys on the mound to say, I'm going to hold them right here. Now you guys do your job with the bats.
Uchikawa will come on to try and finish it up as South Korea gets to bat here in the bottom half of the inning. Daho Lee will lead it off, their designated hitter. 0 for 2 and a walk in the ball game. Big offensive night for Japan with 6 runs on 15 hits. And that is in there for a strike. Daho Lee 4 for 13 in the Classic so far. Both of these teams are going to Los Angeles, where they will join Venezuela and the U.S. for the semi and finals. And if it stays this way, it will be the runner-up out of this game. South Korea playing Venezuela Saturday. Japan taking on the U.S. Sunday. We were talking between innings, Jose, about what the matchup might be if in fact Japan does win this ball game. With Peavy, Jake Peavy set to start for the U.S.
Sending a clear message that he's going to take the mound with all the pride and honor for his country. And if it's Japan, I would go Daisuke Matsuzaki.
Yeah, that would certainly look like it. Yu Darvish, their youngster, the right-handers, would be the other probable choice, but you figure you might get Daisuke and Peavy in that ball game. 1 ball, 2 strike count. First, though, Japan's got to pick up the win here, and they need 3 more outs to do that here in the bottom of the 9th.
Oh, Gary, I almost take a pessimistic approach to if I'm the manager for Japan, thinking, who do I want on the mound if I'm 0-1? Obviously, you can't go 0-1 because it's semifinals.
Exactly. You lose and you're out in Los Angeles.
You're done.
2 ball, 2 strike count. And Lee puts that one back into the seats.
Here's the other thing. Now the pitchers, their limit goes to 100 pitches on the next round. Will you be tempted to use Darvish if you start Matsuzaka and he gets out to a rough start just because you know there's no tomorrow?
I think so. You play to win.
Exactly.
You do whatever you got to do to win and worry about tomorrow in must-win games. 2-2 will miss and a 3 ball, 2 strike count on Lee.
So we're thinking U.S. PV Oswalt.
PV Oswalt is what it looks like. Guthrie, really the 3rd starter, Jeremy Guthrie of the Baltimore Orioles, has been recalled, if you will, by the Orioles because the Orioles were told that Guthrie was not scheduled to pitch as a starter, and they weren't going to use Guthrie out of the pen, so Guthrie's gone back to Baltimore's camp. Three-2 delivery towards the gap, right center field, running, and a nice running catch made. Aoki. Lee retired.
Look at the read in center field, following the swing path of the pitch, and an outstanding play. It was a tough play, really, that he made look very easy.
Byung-ho Lee with 1 down. Had a home run, 7th inning, his 3rd of the Classic. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. 6 RBIs in this 09 World Baseball Classic. And as we've said, keep in mind, because both of these teams are going, they do have a chance to meet again. If they both win, they'd play in the final. The 0-1. In there for a strike. Uchikawa trying to wrap this one up. 38 saves. The dominant closer in the Japanese League. Fouls that one away. 90 strikeouts in 67 2/3 innings last year.
Don't fall behind 1-2. 0-2.
He will make you pay. 28-year-old, 8 years in the Japanese leagues. 0-2 pitch. Throttled back on that, just got enough to foul it off. Did Lee to keep the at-bat alive. Pretty impressive. Now, look at the ERA, 0.67. You kidding me?
And keep the eye on the game. 63 innings pitched, 67 2/3. So he was not just a one-man, one-inning specialist.
There's the 0-2. Bounced it. Japan getting the middle of the order production in this ball game if they can win it. Aoki picked up an RBI. Jojima and Anabe in that 4 spot combined for 3 hits and a run scored. Uchikawa had a home run before he came out of the game. Ogasawara delivered as a pinch hitter. RBI and a base hit and a run scored. A lot of help up and down the lineup. That one bounced as well. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
And in Los Angeles, we shall have an opportunity to see one of the best closers in baseball today in Francisco Rodriguez, Venezuela.
Four very good teams making it as it should be. There's really not a Cinderella team there. 2-2 delivery on the way. That's going to be a base hit into left field. Jun-Ho Lee is on. Kami'i will get it back in. One down here in the bottom of the ninth. A single. Hit number 6 for South Korea. There is Yu Darvish, their young phenom pitcher. Against Korea, the fine performance, 5 innings, couple of runs, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts and 1 walk. Really only had 1 bad inning in the ball game early, trying to settle in.
Iranian, Japanese, and the commissioner of baseball in Japan, Mr. Ryozo Kato, told me you ask him to get involved with any cause that has to do with kids or victims of any type of disaster, he's there. He is there 100% every single time.
Lee with the runner at first who's running. They weren't holding, so it'll be second base taken. Probably defensive indifference on that. No stolen base. They made no try to get him.
I'll give it only if you're running. I'll give you a stolen base.
You'd have to give it to me if I was running. I'd still be running.
Stop!
Stop! Stop! Lee's had only 5 at bats, 1 for 5. Chuck Kwun Lee, left field. He is under it. 2 down. The sun is rising in this game for Japan.
Looking brighter and brighter with the orange.
2 down, a runner at second base, 1 out away. Jin Young Lee. Four for 11 in the Classic. Pinch hitting here. Ground ball, third base. Katahara. And this game's over. A 6-2 win for Japan. They will come out of this pool as number 1. Their pitching, which has held so strong for them throughout the Classic, did so again, giving up just the 2 runs on 6 hits in this ball game. They are now 5-2 in this World Baseball Classic, and so is South Korea.
The stories just don't change, and they might see each other again. And we saw a Japanese team, Gary, that at one point could have gone flat, could have gone the other way, but also saw some great managing in what it is, the utilization of your roster, finding some leaders on the field, Ichiro waking up, and using the bullpen as best as possible. You have so many great stars in that bullpen. So many great stars that were not supposed to play today. They came off the bench and did a marvelous, marvelous job. What a round this was.
Katahara to congratulate the members of the Samurai, which is what the Japanese team is nicknamed. And they will move on now, coming out of this pool as number 1. So that sets the stage in Los Angeles. On Saturday, semifinal game 1 at 9 Eastern. We'll have Korea taking on Venezuela. On Sunday at 8 Eastern, semifinal game 2, the United States and Japan. And then the 2 winners from those semifinal games will meet on Monday at 9:30 Eastern for the championship game. We will party like 2006. Little takeoff on a song there, which happens to work. So both Japan and South Korea win 2 games against each other here so far in this World Baseball Classic. Will they meet again? 6-15-3 for Japan, 2-6-3 for South Korea. Japan wins the pool game. Kamatsu in relief. Great job. And 3 errors committed by Korea, which cost them a couple of unearned runs. They've committed only 2 in the previous 6 games. Here in San Diego, we had some great fans from South Korea and Japan in particular, Jose, to recognize, and they saw some interesting baseball with 4 very solid teams that came in here.
You talk about pride, national colors, intensity, showing up for your ball clubs, every type of style play, and the ability to get the crowd involved. We saw it all, and it was magnificent to see these 2 teams go forward, because you know what? They deserve it. They played the best.
I want to thank all the guys in Major League Baseball's PR departments who are working here in San Diego for all the great help they gave us, along with the folks here from the ballpark who did such an outstanding job. San Diego, a great host for this. Now we move on to Los Angeles. These teams will have a workout day tomorrow, as USA will start it out about 9:30 in the morning at Dodger Stadium. All 4 teams will have time on the field, and then the first game, the semifinal, will take place on Saturday. That's going to do it. Jose, great working with you.
Tametachi Manayo and Joe Matatode, my friend. See you later.
All right, and we will do that. For Jose Mota and our entire crew, I'm Gary Thorne. We thank you all for joining us. Check your local listings for the games on Saturday, the first semifinal game from Los Angeles. For now, from San Diego, we bid you a fond farewell.